Well, welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube here at Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. The Toronto Maple Leafs and Guelph Royals set to do battle. The Maple Leafs finishing off a 3-3 where they got a big win against the Barrie Baycats last night. With more on that one, here's Noam Stryper.
Thanks, Thomas. The Leafs were able to get back in the win column last night in Barrie, breaking their 5-game losing streak. And this came in large part due to the pitching in a 2-1 pitcher's duel. Matt Brown got the start for the Leafs, and he was excellent through 6 innings, allowing just 1 run and striking out 7 Barrie Baycats. Heading into the later stages of the ballgame, it was a 1-1 tie, and the Leafs bullpen absolutely shut things down. Luis Florentino and Adam Mara combined for 4 innings of shutout ball with 5 strikeouts to secure things for the Leafs. And then who else but Dennis DeBanning who scored that last run. Looking over to tonight's pitching matchup, it's Adam Jaffine who takes the mound for the Leafs. Jaffine's been all right this season, posting a 5.25 ERA in 24 innings pitched. And the number that really stands out to me is the strikeout to walk ratio. He's got 19 strikeouts to just 9 walks. So the command is there. The question is he going to be able to blow the ball right past the Guelph Royals tonight, who have scored 19 runs in their last 2 games. That's all from me. I'll send it back up. Thomas?
All right, good stuff, Noam. What a game that was. What a win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dennis DeBanning stays hot. They get a great pitching performance from Matt Brown. He was fantastic, just to start things off against Barrie there and give his team a chance to win.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing was the pitching, and that was the remark that I made in the home game, the last home game, was some days when you get that elite defense, that elite pitching, and then the offense, it's always been there. But some games you don't. And last night, well, they got it, and they got it in a much-needed time. That breaks the 5-game losing streak. Now you got to hope that transitions here at home to break the 9-game home losing streak.
Yeah, so that was a huge game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's a lot to kind of break down from this one. I think let's just start with Dennis DeBanning. Now, I should mention off the bat, he did get suspended for 1 game, so he's not in the lineup tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But, man, he has been one of the hottest hitters in the lineup. Well, one of the hottest hitters in the Andrew County Baseball League all season long. Listen to this. In his last 28 at-bats, he's hitting .607 with 14 RBIs and 3 home runs. Dennis DeBanning has been just the backbone of this Maple Leafs team recently.
Yeah, and I think to start the year, he got off to a red-hot start. He hit those 2 home runs, and then he went ice cold. And I think he kind of started getting a little bit too tense at the plate. He wasn't playing comfortably because, the hype all offseason was that he's back home. He's back in his city, back in Toronto. He was really excited to don that Leafs crest across the chest. And I think he just got a little bit too tense. He wanted to try to have a really big moment at times where, all you needed was a base hit. He started figuring things out. You see what he's been able to do over those last 7, and it looks like he's playing now more loose, more comfortable. He's still happy to be here. He still wants to be here, but now he's more so just enjoying the moment.
I thought his 10th inning at-bat was really gutsy last night. He struck out in his first 4 at-bats. Then he comes up in the 10th inning. His team needed a big hit. 2 outs in the 10th. The team, words could not describe how much the Toronto Maple Leafs needed to win that game, to break the 5-game losing streak. Up steps Dennis DeBanning, and this is what happened.
2-1. Here it comes. And it's hit to center field for a base hit. And that puts Toronto on top 2-1 as Luca Boscarino scores.
And here come the words from DeBanning between the Baycats dugout.
This game isn't over, so everybody better be careful. We're only in the top of the 10th. Last thing either side wants here are ejections. And I'm not sure what DeBanning took exception with.
Well, as soon as he made contact with that ball, it was going into center field. He had words for the Baycats dugout. He's a very emphatic individual.
Still has, and I think he was just tossed. Was that the ejection signal? It looked like it was.
Absolutely.
So Dennis DeBanning gets ejected after hitting the single. I know I talked to Dennis before the game. He says, he wished that maybe he had just a little bit more discipline just so he could play in this game today. But I talked to some of his teammates as well, and they said, man, they were pretty fired up by just that hit. And, he was getting a little bit of trash talk from the Baycat dugout. And that was just a sign of the Toronto Maple Leafs really coming together and gutting out a win.
Yeah, and really, obviously for the sake of Dennis being here today, you wished he was able to hold it. But, you know, he's a player that plays with a lot of emotion, and he's not afraid to wear that on his sleeves. But it just shows this team, they still care. They still want to be here. They still want to put up good games. You know, obviously, the at home, it's been a little bit rough for them. They've been really good on the road. I think that's the thing to always look at. They have been one of the best teams on the road. The home record, it's going to sort itself out. This is too good of a team to continue to have these performances at Dominico Field. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do tonight. Obviously, you don't have the big bat of Dennis DeBanning, but you still have a lot of good guys in this lineup up and down.
So once Dennis DeBanning gets that hit, gets ejected from the game, now it feels like there's a lot of pressure on the Toronto Maple Leafs to come through with a win. I mean, it's a one-run game. You're on the road. It was midnight when this happened because the game started in a rain delay. Adam Mara, who already pitched an inning, has to come into this game for another inning and try and hold the runner at second base with nobody out. That was the ghost runner, and he did this.
He's 10 for 30 with runners in scoring position this year.
Speed and a little flare into the glove of the shortstop. Down the line, and it's off the glove of the first baseman. Scrambles, makes the throw to second for the out there. Could the rookie deliver the crucial moment in this game? Hits it to second. And a short, and that'll do it. At 12 midnight exactly, the Toronto Maple.
And that was just brilliant. The Maple Leafs needed something out of Adam Mara, who hasn't pitched much at all this season. At this point, he's just trying to get those innings in to qualify for the playoffs, and man, he came through in a big spot last night.
Well, he's just trying to get the innings in, but that was probably two of the biggest innings he could have pitched all season long up until this point. You know, it's always funny when we talk to Adam Mara and when we're talking about him when he's on the mound. It's just he knows he's not a guy that throws hard. He knows he's a guy that, in his word, says throws below the speed limit. But he can still trick hitters, fool hitters, and that's exactly what he did against Barrie last night. He did a phenomenal job, and, you know, hopefully he can get those innings in, because why not have him on that playoff roster?
Yep, throwing strikes is the key to success for Adam Mara. I caught up with him before the game. All right, joined now by Adam Mara from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Adam, I know it was a big game for you last night. Let's just start with the team win, though, just to kind of break the losing streak and get the win in Barrie. How big was that for you guys?
Yeah, it's very big for us. It's huge. I guess I thought it was more than 5, but I guess it was a 5-game losing streak we were coming off of. Felt like we couldn't get the ball rolling, although we've been playing signs of life the whole time. You know, it just hasn't been clicking, and yesterday I think was it showed. It felt like we finally clicked a little bit, so we're hoping to keep that ball rolling here tonight and for the rest of the season. I think it's only 10 games left, so, but yeah, big for us, massive.
Just the situation you came into last night, you've already pitched an inning, you get a hit that gives you guys the lead, and then you got to come out in the 10th and close it out. Just your emotions coming into that game, and how good did it feel to get the win and get the job done?
Yeah, it definitely felt very good. Yeah, it was. We were pretty short in the staff, and at that point, I was technically the manager on the field, so felt a little bit weird putting myself in. But you know, it was me and Sato left. Sato was going to come in the 11th if it got there, and so when I came in the 9th, I was nervous because just naturally it was the 9th. I didn't want to blow that, and then the 10th, I knew Doyle there. He's a fast guy. I was quite concerned about him. That's really what was in my mind for the most part. So it might have played in my favor that I was thinking about him more than the actual situation. But I was nervous, to be honest, but, you know, I've been getting more confident. My arm's been feeling good. And it felt good to get it done, throwing strikes and, you know, being competitive up there. So, yeah, that's all it.
Dennis DeBanning has been getting it done for you guys as well. Just to get that hit, it's, you know, kind of just a signature of how hot he's been at the plate. What can you say about what he's been doing for the team?
Yeah, Dennis is, for lack of a better term, he's been a dog for us. He comes in clutch. His last 2 games, he's absolutely been sparking the boys, and I think that's he's playing a big part in what's been going on, us turning the tables a little bit here. So if he can keep it going and get that spark going to a flame, that'd be good, and I think if he just keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be a big part of this team going forward.
All right, Adam, thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, great stuff there from Adam Mara. Came through in a big spot for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And speaking of good pitching, the Maple Leafs are going to get a little bit more pitching help. They've got a new signing in Landon Leach, a guy we saw a little bit for last season. Since then, he's gone out. He's pitched for the Winnipeg Goldeyes. I was talking to the management a little bit about him. They think he's started to find something a little bit more than what he had last season. They're hoping that he can give them some help out of the bullpen, and he may be in the mix today as well.
Yeah, and he's a guy that had a really live arm last year, and it was a really good signing to have. Just trying to get acclimated and get used to the IBL life. So you can see the ERA a little bit inflated, but he also only pitched in 8 2/3 innings. But it'll be very interesting to see, how he kind of goes into the fray here, what role he can play for the Maple Leafs. But you can never have too much pitching.
Yeah, and he's a guy, he's got lots of professional experience, recent professional experience as well. I know Edgar Garcia is going to be on the other side of things. He has major league experience, but we've seen lots of guys in the Intercounty Baseball League that come in with professional pitching experience, and a lot of the time, sometimes it translates, sometimes it doesn't, but when it does, it can be really effective.
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting, like I said, to see how he kind of comes into the mix here. What is he going to bring to this, either the bullpen or either to the starting rotation? But it's going to be tough to see where they're going to put him, but again, having more arms is never a bad thing, especially come playoff baseball. If you have guys that you can go to and, guys that have different stuff from different angles, different arm slots, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, you can never have too much pitching. Well, pitching is something that the Guelph Royals have been, they've been getting some good pitching lately. Let's take a look at their last game. Both of these teams have played the Barrie Baycats in the last game. The Maple Leafs won a nail-biter, 2-1 in extra innings at midnight. This one was a little bit less of a nail-biter. Jacob Cush was fantastic, and the Guelph Royals cruised to the victory their last time out.
Yeah, Guelph has really kind of turned their season around. They had that really slow start to begin the year, but they have been red hot as of late. They're showing why they can be one of the best teams here in the IBL. But Jacob Cush, he's been a pitcher that we've talked about numerous times over the past couple of years. He is so talented, so good. And then Garrett Takamatsu, the former Maple Leaf, continuing to play really good baseball, continuing to be a really high contributor in the IBL.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Lineups on the other side.
To be the best, you've got to bring performance from every second. The game is getting faster every season. So Rawlings made a time machine to help you keep up. Introducing the all-new Velo ACP. It's light, it's balanced, so you can pick your pitch and drive the ball with maximum exit velocity. The game's gotten faster. Your bat has too.
Long before us, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat, and is now also home to many other diverse First Nations. Toronto is currently covered under Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit.
Feel the touch of a precious child and know a mother's love. thank God for my life and for the stars and stripes. May freedom forever fly. Let it ring. Salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love, like our chicken fried and cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that if you are able to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well, almost set for first pitch here in Toronto as we take a look at the lineup for the Guelph Royals, and boy, are they ever happy to get this guy back. Franklin Torres is the second baseman today for the Guelph Royals, followed by Brando LaRue, who's at shortstop, and then Garrett Takamatsu, the former Toronto Maple Leaf and maybe the best hitter in the Guelph Royal lineup this season. He's batting third. 6 home runs on the season for Garrett Takamatsu. I was talking to him before the game. I was like, man, that is impressive, having 6 home runs playing in Guelph. A couple of them have come in Guelph as well. And then Liam Wilson, who's also been a hot hitter. He had 3 hits last game. He's the cleanup guy. Matthew Ward, who has really been a surprise out of the catcher position. He is batting after Wilson. Then Gallo leader Nelson Patterson to round things out for the Guelph Royals today. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup as well. We've got a good one. Adam Jaffine, who comes in with an ERA of 5.73, a guy who's hoping to get those strikeout numbers up and the walk numbers low like he has been this season. On the other side, it's Edgar Garcia, who played for 4 teams in Major League Baseball and has looked like one of the best pitchers in the Intercounty Baseball League this season.
Yeah, he has been really, really good. You can see the strikeout to walk ratio 27-11. He has been sensational. And then, like you said, Jaffine for the Maple Leafs is on the mound. I know there's a little bit of confusion from the box score from last night.
Yeah.
Adam Jaffine did not close out the game last night against the Barrie Baycats.
Yeah.
It was actually Adam Mara, and I believe it was just him. He had the jersey on. So that was the confusion there, but it was actually Adam Mara closing out the game, not Adam Jaffine. He comes in today fresh.
Yeah, although I think he was wearing Adam Mara's jersey, so that's where.
Yeah, not really sure.
So he last pitched against, he last pitched against the London Majors. He went 4 innings, gave up 7 runs and 8 hits, and well, he's got a task today to try and give the Maple Leafs a couple of games in a row. Before the game, I said it's a 3-3, which it is a 3-3, but it's actually 4 games in 4 days for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've got another one against the Welland Jackfish, which you know is going to be a tough game because it's on the road and it's the top team in the Intercounty Baseball League. So they're looking at the Guelph Royals here at home, trying to break a 9-game home losing streak. And none would be a better time than right now with Jaffine on the mound. His first pitch to Torres is up and away, ball 1. Adam Jaffine pitched a little bit out of the bullpen to start the season and then has been a starter for most of the time this season. Torres takes a strike on the inner half. Jaffine stands at 6 feet, 180 pounds, and hails from Toronto, Ontario. pitching for his hometown team here in Toronto. As this one's flared down the line. Fair ball. That one hit the line. Franklin Torres is going to cruise around first base. He's headed for second. Here's the throw, and he's in with a slide. So Franklin Torres has himself a double to lead off the ball game.
Man, that couldn't have been placed any more perfect. It was quite literally on the white line down that right field side, and he just cruises into second easily.
Yeah, it literally hit the chalk line. You could see the chalk kind of spray up a little bit. And I'm not sure that Franklin Torres, when it came off his bat, knew that ball was going to be fair. He was kind of just watching it out of the box. And then all of a sudden it became a little bit closer play at second base. Brando LaRue takes upstairs. Toronto Maple Leafs have Ryan Dos Santos at third base today, Spencer Ross at shortstop, Dan Mara at second, and Jordan Castaldo at first. The 1-0. LaRue takes a ball. Justin Mara is doing the catching for Adam Jeffine today. And the outfield, Luca Boscarino. Ben Sidorenios is in center field, and John Javier out in right. Two 2-0 the count on the Guelph Royal shortstop. That pitch up and away. Adam Jeffine's got a good breaking ball, and it's considerably slower than his fastball. It's got good zip on the fastball and then really slows it down with that curveball slurve, whatever you want to call it. That pitch has been effective for him this season, but he missed with that one to LaRue.
And really the thing with Jeffine is if he's able to tunnel it, and when he tunnels his pitches, it's really hard for the hitter to pick up out of the hand. Obviously, as a hitter, for the curveball, you're looking for it to go up out of the hand and not just straight down, but just with how Jeffine tunnels, it makes it so difficult to pick up.
That pitch well inside. LaRue swings over the top of it.
And again, right there, it's just he's trying to see the pitch out of his hand. He thinks he's reading a fastball that's just going to go down the middle, but then it's an off speed that's cutting down inside, and you get awkward swings like that.
Brando LaRue hitting .216 this season. Here's the 3-2 from Jeffine. And it's hit on the ground up the middle for a base hit. Franklin Torres getting the wave home. Here's the throw to the plate, and just late. It was a little bit up the line. Justin Mara, though, keeps it close and makes sure that Brando LaRue holds his ground at first base. 1-0 Guelph Royals here in the first.
Yeah, the throw kind of took Mara up the line a little bit. He did a good job to get to the ball. It was just he elected it rather instead of trying to, make the play, the dive play to get the tag. He blocks it, keeps it at his feet, and LaRue stays at first.
Well, if the throw from the outfield was on line, Franklin Torres would have been out at home plate. Unfortunately for the Leafs, it was maybe 3-4 feet up the line. Justin Mara wasn't able to catch and swipe the tag across Torres. That was an aggressive send by the Guelph Royals here in the top of the first inning, and it paid off. So here's Garrett Takamatsu. Takes a breaking ball for strike one. That's the pitch that Adam Jeffine has to locate today to be successful. These are the two best hitters in the lineup for the Guelph Royals coming up here. Garrett Takamatsu is hitting .323, and Liam Wilson, who's hitting .296 on the season, that's coming off a 3-hit day last time out. Him against the Barrie Baycats, but that was earlier in the week. I think that was on a Tuesday. So Guelph has had a little bit of time off, facing a not very well-rested Maple Leafs team right now. 1-1 to Takamatsu. That one's just inside as well.
Jeffine looks like he's making good pitches here early on. He's just not getting the call with some of them. But really, as a pitcher, if you're living around the corners like that and you're not getting the call, don't try to change up anything too much because you're pitching well.
It's Takamatsu who's ahead in the count. 2-1. And Tak takes just inside. Garrett Takamatsu tied for third in the Intercounty Baseball League in RBIs. He's got 27 of them on the season. Right now he's tied with Grayson Barrett of the Welland Jackfish. The 3-1 pitch. Takamatsu chops one on the ground to Dos Santos at third. Flip to second for one. On to first. Not in time. Takamatsu able to beat out the double play, but the Maple Leafs do get one, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, it's not a bad trade-off as well. You get rid of the Brando LaRue's speed at first. You substitute it with Takamatsu's now. So another ground ball. It's looking like you can get a similar play.
So now it's Liam Wilson. Wilson has, like Takamatsu, has some nice power from the right side of the plate. Wilson takes up and away ball one. Especially to these middle of the order guys, Zach, Adam Jeffine is going to want to try and get out in front of these batters a little bit more. Here's the 1-0 now to Wilson. Inside, and it nearly hit him. And Liam Wilson is thinking maybe that grazed his pants. And it's funny that should happen because Liam Wilson just so happens to be the IBL leader in hit by pitches. Wouldn't wish that upon anyone, but listen to this, Zach. He's got hit by a pitch 10 times already this year. Now he chops one foul.
Yeah, I used to have a teammate that would lead our league as well, but his thing was he would stand on the plate. And sometimes those guys who want to be able to reach the outside half of the plate, they'll stand a little bit closer, but you substitute, getting hit a little bit more, and that's just kind of what happens.
Spencer Ross of the Toronto Maple Leafs was up there in that conversation of hit by pitches earlier on in the season as well, but Liam Wilson has since overtaken him by a mile, and now he lines on right to Spencer Ross. How about that? Hits him right in the glove this time, and there's two away.
Well, you say a player's name, and that player's going to get involved in the very next play. Wilson got all stitches of that one, but just couldn't get underneath it enough. And like you said, just a laser right at Ross.
Yeah, Spencer Ross has taken over the shortstop position for the Toronto Maple Leafs since Rando Moreno was injured earlier on in the season. And Ross has played quite well over there at shortstop. Although I don't think Spencer Ross at the beginning of the season thought he was going to be the everyday starting shortstop for the Maple Leafs, maybe third or second base. But he's playing in there in short position that he can play very well. And he's been solid over there for the Leafs.
Yeah, it seems like the Leafs they like versatility a lot, and we see that amongst a lot of their players. So Santos, Ross, John Javier, just guys like that are able to play multiple positions. You're trying to get, Justin Mara, instead of him just being a one-dimensional player at back catcher, he's also playing first now.
2-0 pitch misses outside. Well, Zach, versatility in a working man's league is always a good thing.
Yeah, coaches, managers, they love it. They absolutely love having that versatility.
The 3-0 pitch. Down the middle for a strike. Although as time goes on, the IBL is becoming less and less of a working man's league. Lots of talk about the Intercounty Baseball League becoming a pro league next season. The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Count now 3-2. Although Adam Jeffine has fallen behind some of these hitters, he's found a way to battle back a couple times now, and now he's got a 3-2 count on the catcher, Matthew Ward. Takamatsu goes, and the ball is fouled off. Jordan Castaldo, the Leafs' first baseman, is playing behind Garrett Takamatsu, happy with him getting that jump towards second base.
Yeah, you kind of just give up the hold and say, hey, going to play back for any defensive stop. He's going to be going either way with the full count.
And this one's popped up on the infield. Dan Mara now gives way to Spencer Ross, who comes over and makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. Adam Jeffine gives up a double to lead things off, and although that does come in to score, he certainly limited the damage against the Guelph Royals. And now the bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs get a chance in the bottom of the first.
best, you've got to ring performance from every second. The game is getting faster every season. So Rawlings made a time machine to help you keep up. Introducing the all-new Velo ACP. It's light, it's balanced, so you can pick your pitch and drive the ball with maximum exit velocity. The game's gotten faster. Your bat has too.
Well, Edgar Garcia getting ready to go to work against the Toronto Maple Leafs here in the first inning. Guelph Royals scored 1. Torres with a double. And then Brando LaRue drove him in, and the Leafs trying to respond here in the first. Ryan Dos Santos is going to lead things off. 2 walks away from his career high in the IBL. He's got 37 of them on the season. Love to get on base here to start the first. Pitch is in there for a strike.
Hey, you mentioned the 37 walks. Yes, he's also scored 36 times, which is second in the IBL.
Yep. The 0-1, Dos Santos fouls it off. Oh, 2 the count now. Yeah, Edgar Garcia is not going to walk a lot of guys. He'll come right at you because he knows his stuff plays in the IBL. An ERA of 1.88 on the season. And there's a swing and a miss on a pitch right on the hands of Ryan Dos Santos, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, it's a lively fastball. You can kind of see it just got in there quickly on Dos Santos.
So here's the thing with Edgar Garcia. Actually, let's take a look at the lineup for the Maple Leafs first. So that was Ryan Dos Santos leading things off. Now it's John Javier, followed by Jordan Castaldo, who's the first baseman. And Mark Connect is back in the lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs, has been injured. He said he's feeling better today. He's going to give it a go. Justin Morrow, Luca Boscareno, and then Spencer Ross, Dan Marr, and Ben Sidorenios in the number 9 spot. First pitch to John Javier is low and away. Okay, Edgar Garcia. So here's the thing with him.
I was waiting for you to make the point. I was excited.
Each of the last 3 starts that he's had, he's only given up 2 runs. Last one was a 7-inning performance where he threw 95 pitches. So that pitch is in there for a strike to John Javier. So if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, you know the defense has got to be good on the other side of the ball because he has been stingy on the mound.
Yeah, it's just such a lively arm. And you can see he has multiple pitches and just both plus pitches that can play.
Before the games and stuff, when I'm just chit-chatting with other players, I like to ask, who's the toughest pitcher in the IBL to face, and a lot of the times, Edgar Garcia's name is one that comes up right away. The 2-1. This one's hit on the ground to shortstop. Brando LaRue flips to first, and that's out number 2.
Hit hard there by Javier, but right at the shortstop, LaRue. And this is going to be an interesting little battle here, Garcia and Castaldo.
Yeah, this is a nice matchup, a former major leaguer against one of the best to do it in the Intercounty Baseball League. Although Castaldo might be just what the Maple Leafs need right now. They gotta get the pitch count up of Garcia. He hasn't thrown 100 pitches yet this season. Maybe, he could be around that mark today, but he went 7 innings and only needed 95 pitches.
Wow.
You got to get Edgar Garcia out of the game before the 7th, or else the Toronto Maple Leafs might be in some trouble. First pitch to Castaldo. Low and in the dirt. Jordan Castaldo hitting .296 on the season for the Maple Leafs. The 1-0 pitch. Castaldo checks his swing and takes a strike. Castaldo found himself in a little bit of a slump, but it appears that may be over. He has 4 hits in his last 2 games, including his 500th RBI in the Intercounty Baseball League, and he did that in style with a home run to center field.
And you always wonder, you know, was that milestone on his mind where it was kind of hindering some of his at-bats? We're never really going to know, but I'm sure he's very happy to get it out of the way, and now he can go back to just kind of playing the game.
2-1 pitches up and away, and the count's 3-1 now on Jordan Castaldo. Jordan Castaldo is like the definition of, we were talking about the IBL being a working man's league, works as a firefighter, which there have been a lot of really good IBL players that have gone that career path. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Castaldo fouls it off to the left. But I was talking to Jordan about that, and you know, those firefighters, they work some long hours. Not easy to be, you know, a semi-pro baseball player on the side.
I was going to say, it's not a normal 9 to 5 usually.
No. The full count pitch here from Garcia. Castaldo takes low, ball 4. That's a great at-bat there from Jordan Castaldo. Fouls off a tough pitch, takes some close ones, and when it's all said and done, draws a 6-pitch walk. That's 6 extra pitches that Edgar Garcia had to throw. So here's Marcus Connect, and you know, this is great. Marcus came in sitting right about where he is right now in terms of the home run leaderboard, and well, he's been away for what, it's been like a month, right?
It's been about a month, yeah.
He hasn't really got overtaken. So he's coming right back into the fray again, and you know, he's still right in the mix to be the IBL home run leader when it's all said and done, although it is worth noting the Maple Leafs only have 12 games to work with. So to overtake Robert Mullen by 3 home runs, yeah, we'll see.
Hey, we've seen him do that in a game before.
We have. Against the Welland Jackfish in the playoffs. The 1-0. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was also part of back-to-back-to-back home runs that the Maple Leafs hit in that game as well.
And you just got to feel so happy for Connect to finally get back into game action. You know, obviously he got hurt before where it was kind of a fluke injury where he was just coaching and then came back, played a couple games, and then he got re-injured, and it's just a bunch of unfortunate luck.
Yeah, just a bit of an injury in his side. So, you know, one of those things that just tough to swing a bat when you've got that injury kind of in the midsection there. He swings at that, misses at that pitch, and the count's now 2-2. What are you noticing on these swings here from Marcus Connect?
It was a little bit scary. The first pitch strike swinging, it was a little bit of a grimace as he came around. That second one looked a lot better. But obviously, it's just you want to make sure he doesn't, you know, re-injure himself here. He's a player you're going to need to come playoff time.
2-2 upstairs, counts now 3-2. And, you know, Marcus Connect was really eager to get back in the lineup, but, you know, talking to him today, he said he feels good. Like, there's no pain. He even took a couple rounds of BP at the All-Star game on Sunday, so, you know, it's not like this is the first time he's swinging the bat or anything. The 3-2 pitch on the inside corner, strike 3 called. So he goes down looking here, but Edgar Garcia has to throw a couple extra pitches in the first inning, but that's all the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to get out of that first. It's still 1-0 Guelph Royals as they send 4 batters to the plate in the bottom half. Well, Jordan Gallo is going to lead things off for the Guelph Royals, another one of their junior players that has really stepped up this season as he takes a first pitch strike from Adam Jeffine. Jordan Gallo has been great this year, hitting 291, or 293 on the season. That pitch is outside. 1-1 the count now. Jordan Gallo had a couple hits and then the Royals' last win over the Baycats. Swings and misses at another off-speed pitch from Adam Jeffine.
Yeah, that's the breaking ball I was talking to you about. It's just when he's able to tunnel his arm so well, it's hard for a hitter to pick up a fastball out of the hand. And when you can mix it beautifully right there, it's a great pitch.
Two and two the count now. And he taps one foul. This time he was able to get a piece of the breaking ball. Jordan Gallo, one of the youngest players in the Intercounty Baseball League, just 18 years old this year. He's going to go play JUCO baseball at Connors State. 2-2, Gallo takes high. Before that, he was playing for the Mississauga Tigers.
Ah, the North Tigers. Oh, man, that is a historied organization here in Mississauga.
The 2-2. Strike three called. A perfect pitch by Adam Jeffine, and that's out number one. Breaking ball looks good.
Yeah, and if it can continue that movement against the lefties, it's going to be really hard for them to really get any contact going today. He had a good one against Brando LaRue where he put it to a backdoor breaking ball where it's aiming for the back foot of a righty hitter, and he got him kind of in an awkward swing. And if he can keep doing that towards these righties, it's going to be a really good day for him.
Now Andy Leader. So he takes another first pitch strike, another good off-speed pitch from Adam Jeffine.
That's the breaking ball again. Just he's feeling it here, and that's a really good sign for a pitcher.
Andy Leader started his Intercounty Baseball League career playing for his hometown team, the Kitchener Panthers, then last season became a Guelph Royal. He's back with the team again this year, batting .200 on the season, which is pretty low for Andy Leader's standards. But a guy the Guelph Royals know can definitely get hot. 2-1 pitch, Leader fouls it off. Andy Leader's a career .279 hitter in the IBL. Two pitch from Jeffine. Inside, Leader able to lay off.
And that's that backdoor breaking ball I was talking about. And, you know, if you can get some of those righties to chase that pitch, it's going to be a really good day on the mound. I really like him going there. I don't mind that it makes the count 3-2.
He's got to come back and find the strike zone here, though. The full count pitch. Leader slashes one into the outfield. This ball is dropping. It'll fall right between the two Maple Leaf outfielders. Andy Leader, who's got great speed, is going to cruise into second base. That's a double. Boy, he placed that ball perfectly right between Ben Sidorenios and John Javier. Neither of them had much of a play at all. They cut it off before the wall, but Andy Leader was really hustling out of the box, and he gets himself to second base.
Yeah, well, we have a great angle to see kind of if the outfield is shifting or not. You can kind of see Sidorenios as he shifted towards the pull side more, and then Javier, he's kind of still playing straight up towards a bit hugging the line. So there's a massive, massive gap in right center field, and that's exactly where Leader hits it.
With Mark Nellis at the plate, Sidorenios in center field is really playing him to pull. The first pitch is upstairs. Pitch in there for a strike to Nellis. 1-2 the count now. This one slashed towards center field. That one falls. Sidorenios has a kick off his body, and then now here's the throw to second base, and it's in time. The Guelph Royals score a run, but that was a nice little recovery out there in center field by Ben Sidorenios, and that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, he cut it off perfectly. He got it in. Obviously, it's unfortunate that the run comes across, but it's a big out number 2.
If he had fielded that ball cleanly, there would have been definitely a throw to the plate. I don't know if you're going to get Andy Leader. He's got pretty good speed out there. But that was a nice alternative to throw at the runner at second base. That was a great throw from Sidorenios. Andy Leader stole 41 bases in his IBL career, so he's used his speed effectively in the IBL. The 0-1 pitch. Just outside. Adam Jeffine at 24 pitches. As this one's hit on the ground. Mara has it. Throws to first, and that'll end the inning. I meant to say 34 pitches. Now 35 for Adam Jeffine. The Guelph Royals tack on another run. We mentioned 2's the magic number for Edgar Garcia in his last 3 starts. The Maple Leafs have their work cut out for them as we head to the bottom of the second. Back here at Dominico Field in the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Guelph Royals as Justin Mara lead things off for the Maple Leafs and takes a strike. Justin Mara is another one of those working guys in the Intercounty Baseball League. Got off work just in time to make it to the ballpark today, and in fact, he was able to get changed so quickly, then sprint all the way to home plate. He got himself a round of BP in as well.
Yeah, see, the players have it harder, the working man's league.
Oh, yeah.
Broadcasters, they work outside as well, but I'm still lucky enough to where I can get here at least an hour before.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1 from Garcia. Mara takes inside, and he's found himself in a hitter's count here, 3-1. This is one of those matchups where you think, you know, it's tough for most players in the Intercounty Baseball League, but if anyone's going to hit Garcia, it might be Justin Mara. Yeah. Just like that. Line drive right back up the middle. The point I was going to make is that Justin Mara always has a knack for hitting good pitching. He spent time in the minor leagues, drafted by the Chicago Cubs. He's a guy that, he's not afraid to hit some velocity. One of the guys that I always thought Justin Mara matched up really well against was Davey Mendez of the Welland Jackfish, which almost nobody matches up well against. But Edgar Garcia, who's also got that, really high-level professional experience, seems like something that Justin Mara can handle, and he did right there.
Well, I was just going to ask you, what are the lottery numbers for tomorrow? Because you're 2 for 2 on calling stuff here.
Yeah, when you start to kind of identify trends over, a couple of years in the Intercounty Baseball League, so the odds, a lot of the time you can kind of sway the odds in your favor pretty well. The 0-1. This one's hit on the ground to third. Flip to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. So that erases the Justin Mara single. And just like that, Edgar Garcia and the Guelph Royals have 2 outs in the second.
Hard hit ball, but just couldn't get underneath it enough. It's easy 2-bouncer right to the third baseman.
Yeah,
Good piece of hitting, though.
Franklin Torres had all the time in the world to turn that ball over to first just because Luca Boscarino hit that ball so hard on the ground to third.
Yeah, he got about 2 steps down the line, and that ball was in the diving glove of third baseman.
Spencer Ross now comes up in a much less dangerous situation here for the Maple Leafs with nobody on base. The 1-0. Ross checks his swing, but it's a called strike on the outer half. The 1-1 pitch. Good take there from Spencer Ross.
Spencer Ross has been pretty good in the last couple of games. When he was batting out of the 9-hole, we saw him have a couple of hits where he was able to turn over the lineup a bunch, and that's exactly all you really want from the guy who's batting number 9.
Count now 2-2 as Garcia gets a strike. Ross chops one on the ground to third. Another play to first, and that will end the inning. So Garcia gets a double play to wipe out the base runner for the Maple Leafs, and it's the Royals who continue to lead 2-0 here at Christie Pitts. Back here at Dominico Field, Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. Adam Jeffine back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. This will be his third inning of work. Guelph has scored a run in each of the first 2 innings.
He has pitched well through the first 2 as well. It hasn't been like Guelph is hitting him around or anything. You know, in the first inning it was kind of just 2 hits, and then he shut down the rest. In the second inning it was the same thing, 2 hits, but everything else was shut down perfectly.
Franklin Torres hits one on the ground. That one skips by the glove of Ryan Dos Santos. It's going to roll all the way towards the corner. Torres is going to put the brakes on this time. As he thought about second, Luca Boscarino, though, got right into the Maple Leafs bullpen quickly and threw the ball in.
Yeah, it's just a hard hit ball down the third base line. You go to play on the backhand, but it gets on you so quick. That's kind of what just happened there on Dos Santos.
Yeah, you could see him kind of slap his glove after that play. He knows that was one he thought he could have got to. So now it's Brando LaRue, who drove in Franklin Torres his last time up, although Torres was on second base that time. Nearly hit himself another double. The 1-0. Upstairs. LaRue chops one foul towards third base.
And everybody runs in a panic down there on the left field line.
Jeffine ahead in the count. 2-1 to the shortstop, LaRue. And he golfs this one in the air to left. It's hooking down the line, and it is gone. That's a 2-run home run for Brando LaRue. He was able to turn around that pitch right in on his hands, and it's the Royals lead 4-0.
Yeah, that's the downside of just trying to go low and inside to a righty, is if you miss your spot, it's an easy pitch breaking in on them. That's just going to hammer it down that left field line. It's exactly what happens right there to LaRue.
Sorry. Just getting the hot dog order
in. You're reaching a little bit there, buddy.
Sorry, just couldn't grab it.
Every time I looked up, your forearm was just getting closer and closer to my face. So I was like, okay.
So LaRue's 2-run home run doubles the lead. Now here's Takamatsu. The more runs the Guelph Royals get, or at least the bigger they make the lead, Maple Leafs are thinking, man, we got to find a way to get something going against Edgar Garcia on the other side of things. Not easy to score runs off a guy with an ERA in the ones. The 1-0 to Takamatsu. He shoots this one on the ground to second. Dan Mara is able to scoop it up, throws to first, and that's an out.
No coleslaw this time?
All right. We're already too far in the weeds here, Zach. Just eat your hot dog.
You know,
I
can't lie, though. The Caribbean slaw was pretty good on Wednesday. It was a pretty good addition of the hot dogs.
Power hitting righty Liam Wilson at the plate takes a strike. Starting to see why Liam Wilson gets hit by so many pitches. You know, it's really easy when you see those pitches coming inside to kind of bail out. Liam Wilson he stays in there. I think that's kind of what makes him such a good hitter too. He's really able to stay inside the baseball. The 1-0 pitch. I see he does it again there, but he takes right in on the inner half.
Hey, he stays inside, but you can also kind of see where he's lined up in the box. He's closer towards the plate, and it's going to be something where, you know, if you try to go inside to him, it's most likely going to hit him because of how much he leans over the plate.
0-2. And it's tapped foul towards the Leaf dugout. Liam Wilson played some Division I baseball for Canisius College. Also spent some time with the Quebec Capitals in the Can-Am League it was at the time, and now he destroys this baseball to left field, and that one's way out of here. Liam Wilson leaves the yard to left. 5-0 Guelph.
Yeah, well, we talk about Guelph being a really good offensive team, and what they did in their last game out against Barrie in that 14-1 win, well, they're just doing it again here. They're flexing the muscles.
Liam Wilson got to that baseball and got all of it. I know Christy Pitts is one of the shorter fences in the Inter-County Baseball League, but that home run was, up over the trees out there in left field.
Yeah, that went about halfway up the trees.
So that's the third home run of the season for Liam Wilson. If you look up and down the Guelph Royal lineup, Wilson now with 3 home runs and Garrett Takamatsu are actually the only 2 batters that have multiple home runs on the season. But that's not a product necessarily of how much power the Guelph Royals had. It's just Guelph is not an easy ballpark to hit home runs in.
One of the bigger parks in the IBL. Doesn't make it easy to leave the yard.
But Takamatsu has still found a way to do it 6 times.
Well, he has tons of power. We know that from years, years past. He has tons and tons of power.
The 0-2 in the dirt. Had a 3 home run game once here at Christy Pitts. That was part of his Rookie of the Year season in the IBL. Also a IBL MVP. Now Ward gets into this ball. Deep to left. Does it have enough? Yes, it does. It clears the wall. And it's another home run for the Guelph Royals to make it 6-0.
Yeah, Jaffine, he had great command of that off speed in the first inning, in the first 2, I should say, and he just hung a couple here. And the Guelph Royals, they're not missing. This is an offense, again, like I mentioned. They are potent in offense.
Yeah, what's that? 3 home runs in their last 4 batters. So Rob Butler is going to come out to the mound to chat with Adam Jaffine. And it might be, is that Landon Leach warming up in the bullpen for the Leafs?
I believe it is.
He's probably coming in next. I think that was the plan all along. But Maple Leafs are hoping Jaffine could get them a couple more outs here. I don't think Rob Butler's out to the mound here to pull Adam Jaffine. I think he's here to just kind of, assess the situation, see how Adam's feeling. Ball's really been leaving the yard for the Guelph Royals here.
I don't know if you caught it, but there's a new bullpen catcher down there. He ran from the dugout back there. It's Greg Carrington.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, he threw on the helmet.
That looks like Adam Mara
and
catching
he hustled.
it.
Oh, here it comes.
There he is. Okay. Because Adam Mara was doing the catching now. That's good.
I saw Carrington hustle down there with the helmet on and the mask in hand.
This
Heads
one's
up.
Popped back. Lands right in front of the broadcast booth up here on the hill. Oh, yes. Great shot.
Great shot.
1 pitch swung on and missed. Just been a few mistake pitches here for Adam Jaffine in the inning that have got hit really hard by the Guelph Royals. Now the 0-2 pitch. This one's also hit pretty well. Deep to right field, but caught in front of the warning track by John Javier. Gallo just got underneath it, and that's the second out.
Yeah, Jaffine was able to just, get the top of the order down pretty easily the first time up, but they came up here again in the third, and it's been just really good at-bats after really good at-bats.
Broken bat flare to Ross. He thought he caught it. Now he throws to first. And they're going to say that ball dropped, and Ross did actually have to make that throw to get Andy Leader at first base. That ends the inning, but the Guelph Royals tack on a bunch more. 3 home runs in the inning to make it 6-0. First pitch to Dan Mara, who's leading off the bottom of the third inning. Edgar Garcia back on the mound, has looked real good through the first 2. 6-0 Guelph Royals. If you're Maple Leafs right now, you know, it's still early on in the game, but you got to be thinking maybe put your head down and try and battle through this one, because you got the Welland Jackfish tomorrow. That's going to be a pretty depleted bullpen if, you know, Adam Jeffine isn't able to go deep into this game for the Maple Leafs. And you got to make the trip all the way down to Welland, too.
Well, at least it's a weekend, so you know, you get a little bit of sleep instead of having to go to work.
For some people, I guess,
some
yeah.
people, yeah.
If you're a firefighter, maybe not.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part. Forgot they don't work regular 9 to 5s.
Yeah, they work, I think it's like 12-hour shifts
Whenever
or something.
beck and call happens.
Yeah. Well, 2-2. Pitch outside to Dan Mara. Mara hitting .261 on the season for the Leafs. And a 3-2 count here with Garcia, and he takes ball 4. So Dan Mara will draw his 15th walk of the season, and the Leafs have a runner on here to start the third.
And here, if you're Citarenios, you just got to go up there with the mindset of don't try to, you know, go for the big fly. You're down big here, 6-0. Just get a base hit or work a walk. Pass that torch to the top half of the order.
Something which Ben Citarenios did do last night, but this time he hits one on the ground to LaRue, and this is going to be a tailor-made double play for the Guelph Royals. And just like they did an inning ago, a double play. There's 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the third for the Leafs. And back to the top of the order with Ryan Dos Santos.
Third baseman, number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
First pitch from Garcia to Ryan Dos Santos, and he fouls it off. You don't always see Ryan Dos Santos swing at the first pitch of an at-bat, but you know that might just have to be the game plan for the Maple Leafs today. Garcia doesn't walk a lot of guys. He pounds the strike zone. You may only get one, or you might never get a good pitch to hit in the at-bat, the 0-1. So if you see one and it happens to be the first pitch, maybe you got to swing at it.
Yeah, and you never know. The first pitch sometimes is the best pitch you're going to see all at-bat.
But on the other hand, Leafs batters thinking we do kind of have to work the pitch count a little bit. Garcia. Here's the 1-1. This one's hit on the ground to first. Wilson has it. That'll end the inning. Toronto Maple Leafs send 3 batters to the plate in the third. Trail 6-0 here to Guelph. Well, Landon Leach is coming into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look at what he did last season with Toronto in a pretty small sample size. It was his first season with the Toronto Maple Leafs back in last season. Played a little bit for the Winnipeg Gold Eyes this year, and now he's back here with the Maple Leafs. And Zach, this will be a big outing for Landon Leach to kind of show the Toronto Maple Leafs that he's got a little bit better stuff than what he did last season. I'm hearing, you know, there have been some real improvements with Landon Leach, especially his command when he was out in Winnipeg. So, you know, there's high hopes for Landon Leach here in his start to the Maple Leafs, although it be late in the season.
Yeah, and I think, you know, getting a pitcher back like Leach, he has a good track record. You know, he's played a lot of baseball, a lot of different places, and you know he just brings another extra arm into this bullpen for the Maple Leafs team, and that's all you kind of need sometimes. It's just getting that extra body, that extra arm, and it'll be really interesting to see what he's able to bring to this squad. And you know, we saw him a lot last year, starting games or opening games, I should say, not really that much out of the bullpen.
Yeah, if you just kind of look at where the Maple Leafs are in the standings right now, it's clear that there have been some gaps into their key to success, so to speak, just because they're, quite a few games off of first place, well below 500 right now in the IBL. So the 1-0 to Nellis is up and away. Right now they're starting to work their way a little bit out of the conversation of getting home field advantage in the playoffs, although they do have some games in hand over teams. So that pitch is low and away. But so you got to have guys step up. That's just the way it's going to be. This is probably exactly what this Maple Leafs team is going to look like come playoff time. It's just a matter of how well the players are playing. And I think there's things like cleaning up the defense a little bit, kind of getting a few guys going on the hitting side of things that the Maple Leafs are hopeful that they can do. There's certainly some internal improvements. But, new guys and guys like Landon Leach, if they can kind of step up, could be a key to success for the Maple Leafs as Nellis lines out to second base.
Well, I mean, and I don't really know if they're going to be mad if they don't get home field advantage, just considering what's going on this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're one of the best teams on the road. They play extremely well on the road, and it's, for whatever reason, it's been such a struggle for them at home. The players don't understand why. We don't understand why, because we know this team is a really good team. It's just something about playing in this park. It just hasn't been friendly to them this year.
Which hasn't really been the case in the past. It's just this season. It's a weird phenomena that I think might just be a phenomena.
Well, I mean, the 9 games in a row here that they've dropped at home, it's at a point you got to wonder, what's the underlying thing that's going on here?
Ashton Patterson at the dish now and takes a strike, and the count's 0-2. Leach delivers low. I think Justin Mara called for the changeup there from Landon Leach, and he missed low with it, but that thing had some frisbee action on its way down in the zone. This pitch up and away, and after an 0-2 count, now the count is 3-2. Now it's inside, and it hits Patterson. It was ball 4 anyway, so he heads down to first base. So back to the top of the order now for the Royals. This is Franklin Torres. Runner goes, no throw. Ashton Patterson swipes second base.
It just looked like he timed up Leach just extremely well. He went on first move, and Leach was just focused on getting that first pitch over.
And the Guelph Royals on the base path no longer have to deal with Adam Jeffine, who's a lefty, so he's looking right at him on first base. That pitch is up and into Torres. Counts 2-0. Franklin Torres hit .364 last season with the Guelph Royals. A couple home runs as well. So that pitch is inside. Well, it's a 4-pitch walk from Landon Leach issued to Torres.
Shortstop number 5, Brando LaRue.
Brando LaRue, who's the 2-hitter. So a good day at the plate, drove in a run back in the first inning. It's also had a 2-run home run that made it 4-0. This time he pops it up. This one's going to stay in play. Justin Mara, the catcher, calling for it, and he makes the catch. Infield fly roll was in effect there, and now there's 2 away.
And Leach gets him to chase that first pitch, pops it up, and big second out here. Try to get some runners stranded.
Well, if you need a hit with 2 outs and a couple runners on base, the Guelph Royals had to send 1 guy to the plate. It would probably be Garrett Takamatsu, trying to extend the lead here. Takamatsu takes inside. 27 runs driven in for Takamatsu on the season. Just 14 strikeouts on the year. It's been a tough out. The 1-0 from Leach. Well inside. And did that one get a piece of, yeah, it did. It got a piece of Garrett Takamatsu. That's a hit by pitch. The bases are loaded now for Guelph. And they've got another good hitter coming to the plate in Liam Wilson.
And Wilson hit that absolute bomb back in the 3rd inning. He was 1 of 3, but I think his was the highest up the tree line that we have behind the left field wall.
Yeah, he's got some great power. 39 home runs in his Inter-County Baseball League career. Had 13 of them last year with the Kitchener Panthers. That was a career high, and he almost doubled his previous career high, which was with Kitchener the year before that. Drove in 45 runs last year for Kitchener.
First baseman number 45, Liam Wilson.
And this is maybe the most impressive stat of them all. Liam Wilson is a career .358 hitter in the Intercounty Baseball League, in a career which started way back in 2015 with the Hamilton Cardinals.
Wow. Then the epitome of consistent.
Bases loaded. First pitch strike from Leach. Rob Butler came out of the mound, gave Leach a bit of a pep talk, and he pounds the strike zone. That's exactly what he needs to do here. Nowhere to put Liam Wilson. The 0-1. Wilson hits one on the ground to Spencer Ross at short. He flips to second, and the Leafs and Landon Leach get out of the inning. The Guelph Royals failed to score in the fourth. The first inning, the Maple Leafs have been able to get them to do that. 6-0 Royals. To the bottom of the fourth we go here at Dominico Field. Back here at Dominico Field, John Javier continues to hit well for the Maple Leafs. Now got on base in 24 straight games. Waited until really late last time he was here at Dominico Field. Got a hit in the 9th inning. Got another one against Barrie.
He's staying alive on the on-base streak.
Swings and misses at the first pitch from Edgar Garcia. Here's the 0-1. Javier rips this one into the outfield. That one's down for a base hit. It's going to roll all the way to the foul pole. John Javier digging for two, and he's in there with a double.
Maybe that's the little spark that the Leafs need. Just get something rolling here. You just got a shutdown hitting from Leach. He got out of danger with the bases loaded. Now you get a leadoff double here, so at least just try to cash one across here.
Really good piece of hitting there from John Javier. Just took exactly what the pitcher Garcia gave him. A pitch on the outer half, drove it the other way, and that ball went all the way to the wall. It was a double for Javier with a slide. Here's Jordan Castaldo. Castaldo fouls the first pitch off. The 0-1. Inside.
I'm not sure what just happened, but I think a kid just went sliding headfirst down the hill.
In a good way?
Or he dove for the Oh, he dove and caught it.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Got this kid a gold glove.
1-1 to Castaldo. Foul tipped. Boy, Jordan looked like his eyes kind of lit up at that pitch, didn't it?
Well, when you see the foul ball go straight back, that usually means that the hitter is on time with the pitch. Just he just missed it, either underneath or on top of it. And that's probably what we saw. It was just Castaldo. He saw that pitch right there, and he was on time, and he knows he just missed it.
Unfortunately for Castaldo, a 1-2 count against Edgar Garcia is not a particularly comfortable place to be. He's got to try and have a productive at-bat here. The 1-2. Castaldo takes low and in. Gives the hand signal to John Javier out there at second base, saying that Matthew Ward was able to block that baseball.
Yeah, and he's a guy who has already worked the count against Garcia in this game. So he knows what he needs to do.
Yep. Took it all the way to 3-2 and drew the walk. That was last time up. Garcia gets his sign, and now the 2-2 to Castaldo. Castaldo chops it foul towards first.
And I don't mind that swing right there. That was a tough pitch by Garcia, and that's really just a kind of an excuse-me swing by Castaldo to stay alive.
That he is in a 2-2 count and fouling off pitches from Garcia. Just refusing to chase that breaking ball in the dirt as well. John Javier, the runner out at second base. Garcia's 2-2. Castaldo hits it in play to first base. That will advance John Javier to third as Jordan Castaldo rolls out for out number 1.
And, you know, obviously, probably in the mind of Castaldo, he wished he could have done more, but that's still doing a really good job. You advance the runner over. You just have to kind of forget that it's 6-0 right now. At least get one on the board, get the offense rolling a little bit here against Garcia. Now you have a great chance of just trying to, you know, scratch one across.
What are the odds that conversation between Rob Butler and John Javier was something about, you know, Butler telling him how good an approach that was, hitting the ball the other way? There's no one who likes the ball being hit the other way more than Rob Butler. So runner on third base now for the Maple Leafs. Marcus Connect at the plate, struck out in his first at-bat. The 0-1. Oh, 2 now on Marcus Connect. This is the situation he found himself in the last at-bat, but swung at the first 2. Just needs to get something on the ground up the middle or in the air to score John Javier. The 0-2 pitch. Connect, swings and misses. Actually, it was foul tipped into the glove of Matthew Ward. It's a strikeout either way, and that's out number 2. Well, Justin Mara had a good at-bat his last time up, lined a single right back up the middle against Garcia. We'll need to do something like that again to try and drive in Javier from third base.
You know, obviously now you need to put the ball in play here, and like you said, Mara, usually a guy that likes seeing these kinds of pitchers. A lot of velo and a lot of movement on all the pitches that Garcia throws.
It's hard to say if anyone likes seeing pitchers like Edgar Garcia, but if there's anyone who could handle them, it's certainly Justin Mara. Well, he hits this ball well again, and that one's down for a base hit. There's the first run of the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs as Justin Mara continues to hit Edgar Garcia well. He got him for a single, and it's 6-1.
Good piece of hitting right there. You shorten up your swing and your approach a lot, and you just kind of poke it the other way. You do a job. You get the run in. You cut the lead from 6 down to 5.
Yeah. Justin Mara has been up to the challenge of hitting Garcia today. Now Luca Boscarino comes to the plate. First pitch from Garcia. in there for a strike.
Yeah, you always got to know you're not going to win it all in one inning. You just got to continue to scratch and claw. For the Leafs, you're lucky. If you can continue to hold on the defensive side, you know, you scratch 1 or 2 across the next 2-3 innings. It's a good sign.
Boscarino hits this one in the air to left, but that one just doesn't quite have enough distance, and that'll end the inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But they do score one. An RBI single by Justin Mara scores Javier, and it's 6-1, Guelph Royals. Top of the 5th inning, and Josh Berenbaum into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. First batter he will face is Matthew Ward, the catcher of the Guelph Royals. He takes inside ball 1. Josh Berenbaum comes into this outing with an ERA of 4.73 on the season. He's been a workhorse for the Maple Leafs as he delivers low to Ward. His 38 innings pitched on the season over 8 games. All of them have been starts, by the way. This is his first relief appearance, or his first on the Toronto Maple Leafs. No one has even got over 30 innings other than Josh Berenbaum, as this one is sky high to Castaldo at first base, who makes the catch.
Yeah, and I've been a really big fan of Josh Berenbaum really all season long, and just what he's been able to do for the Maple Leafs. You know, he's provided them with the innings that they need, and he's provided them with just really consistent outings. You know, yes, has he allowed a couple runs in some of his outings? Yeah, every pitcher will from here and there, but for the most part, he's just been a really consistent arm.
Yeah, some of the runs that Josh Berenbaum has allowed too are, you know, when he's got past his pitch count a little bit, and the Maple Leafs just need to squeeze a little more out of him, and a couple runs come in to score. That's happened a couple times for Josh Berenbaum. But when he's needed to really step up, he has. Had some really dominant starts on the mound for the Maple Leafs. And although he's getting a relief appearance today, I think he's pretty much solidified himself as one of the starting pitchers on this Leafs team. The 1-1. This one's hit on the ground, back up the middle. Gobbled up by Ross. He throws to first, and that's the second out.
And he's done a really good job since coming into this ball game here. 2 quick outs, the pop out and the ground out. But the thing is, you know, he understands he's not going to blow every single hitter away, but you just kind of pitch to the soft contact, and that's exactly what he's doing right here.
Yeah, he does. He's got 39 strikeouts in 38 innings. a lot of the time he leans on soft contact, gets some double play ground balls, stuff like that to get him out of trouble. Not that he's got himself in much trouble this season. He's
looking
been
over
good.
at the bullpen again, and looks like Greg Carrington is fully committed to the catching duties today. Full gear.
The bullpen catcher. There's no better team player on the Toronto Maple Leafs than Greg Carrington.
He's just a baseball player.
Oh, yeah. And Josh Berenbaum has a whip of 1.63 on the season. So he delivers outside there to Andy Leader after getting ahead of him in the count. The 1-2. Low and in. Berenbaum's best start came against the Welland Jackfish, where he didn't give up a run over 6 innings. So he misses in the dirt to Andy Leader, and the count runs full. But, you know, to your point, Zach, some of the best starts that Josh Berenbaum has had have been the low strikeout starts. Doesn't necessarily need to get strikeouts because he's got so many different pitches. And, you know, I can't imagine being a batter that he's particularly fun to hit because he can mix it up on you.
Yeah, it's because you never know what's coming. It's just everything has movement and it moves a different way.
Oh, he just missed outside. Ball 4. Leader heads down to first base. 6-1 Royals here in the top of the 5th inning. Mark Nellis comes to the plate. Josh Berenbaum's last outing came against the Hamilton Cardinals, which is back on July 19th here at Christie Pitts. 5 innings, gave up just 2 earned runs. This is first relief appearance of his IBL career. The 1-0 to Nellis. In there for a strike, and the count's 1-1. Keep an eye on Andy Leader over there at first base, getting pretty antsy off of the first base bag. The 1-1 pitch. Berenbaum real quick to the plate that time. Didn't let Andy Leader get in a rhythm. And now there's 2 strikes on Nellis.
Yeah, good movement right there on both of the 2 strike pitches right there.
Berenbaum going back to the breaking ball. Leader goes. This ball is fouled off. Wow. That was a swing there from Mark Nellis to get to that baseball low and inside and just get a piece of it.
That's the staying alive swing, as you like to call it.
Also means that Andy Leader is going to have to re-rack and head back to first base. Leader was thinking, man, this might be a good pitch to go on. He was right, but
it was a great pitch to run on. It was just, you have to stay alive if you're at the plate.
The 1-2 lined into the outfield over the head of Mara. Leader making the turn, heading for third. Throw comes back into the cutoff man, and there's runners on the corners here in the 5th. Berenbaum gets 2 quick outs, and then a Mark Nellis single after a walk by Andy Leader, and the Royals are threatening again.
What's that old saying? Sometimes you just got to tip your cap, and right there, Nellis just makes a good swing on a really difficult pitch. He saw the one before. He had him out on his front foot, and then that time he was able to sit back and get the barrel to it.
Now it's the 22-year-old Ashton Patterson at the dish. Patterson swings and misses.
And this would be a big out here because you want to kind of leave the top of the order on deck.
Ashton Patterson, a former Guelph Griffin in the OUA. Runners on the corners for the Royals. Leader, the lead runner at third base. Let's pitch inside. Berenbaum finds the zone on the inner half. Pretty good pitch there, and now the count's leveled at 2.
And he's gotten into 2 strike counts. Those last 3 hitters, it's just the last 2 times the hitters have been able to best him. Let's see if he's making the adjustment.
The 2-2, chop back up the middle. Dan Mara has it, flips to second quickly, and he got him. Oh, nifty play there from the Maple Leafs second baseman. Dan Mara gets them out of the inning. Both Royals, no runs in the 6th, and the Maple Leafs trying to tack on and make it close. We'll be right back. Spencer Ross leading things off for the Maple Leafs here in the 5th.
He loves rock and roll.
Uh-huh. You want to say the lyrics again, or are you done with that? Oh,
another dime in the jukebox, baby. Don't put me on the spot like that. I got a little nervous. The anxiety kicked in. Okay.
Ross went around, and the count's now 0-2.
Joan Jett, right? That's who sings it?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Gus, our graphics guy, was putting me on the spot there. I'm getting tested up here in the booth.
You're kind of outing yourself, too, if you think about it.
Guys, I know music.
The 0-2. Ross takes in the dirt. Garcia into his 5th inning of work. That pitch just missed.
It's a great take.
Yeah, stone cold take there from
Great
Spencer
take.
Ross. The 2-2. Another take by Ross, and the count's now 3-2. How about that? Spencer Ross working the count.
Man, just 2 stone cold takes.
Full count pitch. Thought about it.
You think that was a defensive hack?
Yes. Just got a piece of it.
Hey, whatever you can do to stay alive. That's all you got to do at the plate.
Garcia re-racks for another 3-2. And Ross fouls it off again. This time he took a bit bigger cut at it. Ross putting up a battle here to start off the 5th inning against Edgar Garcia. third 3-2 pitch on the way. And Ross fouls it off again.
Just staying alive. Name of the game right here. And this is a fantastic at-bat.
Edgar Garcia spending time playing Major League Baseball with the Rays, the Reds, the Twins, and the Nationals. Washington, the latest team back in 2022. 65 pitches now for Garcia here in the 5th. And it's fouled off by Ross.
Just keep doing a job.
4 in a row. This will be a 5th 3-2 pitch from Garcia. Dan Mara has been standing on deck for a while, waiting for his turn to come to the plate.
Keep it up. This is glorious.
6th 3-2 pitch. To think that all this whole string of foul balls started with that teeny little check swing by Spencer Ross.
Biggest defensive hack you'll see all year. And right now he's fighting.
Ball 4. Oh, he earned the walk. Spencer Ross with a long at-bat against Garcia gets the walk.
Yeah, and that's phenomenal. I mean, you foul off about 4, maybe 5 straight tough pitches. You get one on the outside half. You don't chase it. You earn yourself that walk. And you get the leadoff runner on base, and that's the biggest thing right now for the Maple Leafs.
I believe that was an 11-pitch at-bat there from Spencer Ross. And on that bat that started like 5 minutes ago, it was 0-2. So here's Dan Mara. How many times have we said this about Spencer Ross, who's, Maple Leafs haven't had a ton of rallies lately, but when they do start, a lot of the time it's Spencer Ross who gets them started.
He might not make the hardest contact on the team or, be as consistent as, say, a guy like Dennis DeBanning is right now or a guy that like John Javier. But he's somebody that it's when you need a big spot, somebody just to lead off it in and get on, he's usually the guy that does that.
The 1-1. Mara takes inside. He has a super compact swing. It just doesn't have a lot of holes in it. There isn't really one place that you can get him out. Easy to believe that he hit .310 last year for Kitchener Panthers. 2-1 to Dan Mara. Finds the outside corner. A deep knee bend by Mara at the plate, signifying that he thought that pitch might have been outside. Here's his 2-2. That one's outside. Pick throw back to first. Not in time. Spencer Ross was sharp over there at first base, reacted quickly when he saw Ward snapping it back down to Wilson at first. Here's the 3-2. Mara lines this one towards the outfield. This one's going to drop. It rolls to the wall. Spencer Ross headed for third. He gets the stop sign there. Dan Mara into second base as he's got himself a double.
That's a beautiful piece of hitting by Dan Mara, and it's something we saw earlier in the game for the side of Guelph where they had that gap in right center field and they shot for it perfectly. I believe it was Andy Leader that did it. Dan Mara, he had that same kind of gap where center field and left field, they're playing the shift towards pull. Right field has to kind of guard against the opposite hit down the line, so it leaves a really big gap in right center field, and Dan Mara shoots it perfectly.
And now Edgar Garcia has already thrown, I think it's 16 pitches in the inning. And he's got nobody out here in the 5th. The Leafs working the count, but not just working the count. They've got a walk and a double out of it to start this 5th. Ben Sidorenios, who's the number 9 hitter for the Maple Leafs, will come up here in a spot to try and drive in some runs. At bare minimum here, just try and get a productive out, because if you do that, the Maple Leafs score 1, and then you might have a runner on third base, and there's still just 1 out. Lots of time here for the Maple Leafs, but they've got to cash. They've got to cash a couple runs here. This is a golden opportunity. Sedorenios lines one towards the outfield. Catch made. Dan Mara coming for the plate. Here's the throw. It's cut off, and now they've got Spencer Ross hung up at third base. Throw to third in time to get the out. The Maple Leafs score 1.
Dan Mara was at second, and Ross came home there. Just 2 players with high socks.
Yeah, that throw was cut off smartly there by Brando LaRue. And yeah, Dan Mara, the runner that was thrown out at third base. Maple Leafs probably would have liked to keep that runner alive out there on the base path. Now there's 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, that play hurts when you're trying to rally back, but you can't.
Well, they're going to check on third base just to make sure that Spencer Ross didn't leave early. He didn't.
Yeah, just to the point I was just making is just, you know, they still have a lot of ball game left to play. You're getting good pitching on the other side by Baron right now. On the side of the offense, you just got to keep stringing stuff together, and, you know, they've strung 2 together. You just got to keep on doing that. Slowly but surely, you'll be back here.
First pitch to Dos Santos is a strike.
And you can say easily right now that Garcia looks more hittable than he did in the first 2 innings.
The 0-1 upstairs. And he's given up those 2 runs. That's been the number over his last 3 starts. He's given up just 2. Maple Leafs got to find a way to score 6. Santos takes in the dirt. And I don't know exactly what the plan is for Josh Berenbaum. He might be in line to start a game, you know, early next week or, you know, later on in the week, and it's just kind of a bullpen day to bridge him to that gap. Or he might just be in it for the long haul here for the Maple Leafs, which he could do.
Well, also, correct me if I'm wrong, but he, you know, it's been a couple games since he's pitched. If he
9
didn't pitch,
days.
Yeah, if he didn't pitch in that Barrie game. So it's been a little bit of a while, so probably a game like this,
6 days.
You just try to get him back in.
Yeah. Pitch inside to Dos Santos, who draws a walk. He's got 38 of those now on the season.
One away from career high.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if I got that one in there. Six days ago, Berenbaum. So this would kind of be like a natural day to get another start for Josh Berenbaum.
Yeah, so it's not a horrible thing to, you know, get him back on the mound. You know, whether it be he pitches, you know, just 2 or 3 innings, or if he goes the rest of the game. It's just something as you allow him to stay in a rhythm here.
John Javier doubled in his last at-bat. That would probably score Ryan Dos Santos if he did it again. Took the ball the other way against Garcia. Snap throw to first to check on Ryan Dos Santos, who dives back in.
One of the top base stealers in the Intercounty Baseball League this year. He had top spot for a while, and then Mateo Portolato for Welland just kind of came out of nowhere and just started swiping bags left, right, and center.
After Edgar Garcia was done playing Major League Baseball, he went to the American Association and then played in the Mexican League before coming here to the Guelph Royals. Trying to finish off this 5th inning. Javier fouls it off behind home plate. Oh, 0-2 now on Javier. And that pitch just misses outside.
And this has been a really good inning for the Maple Leafs of just, you know, running up that pitch count on Garcia.
Yep. 1-2. Dos Santos going. Javier chops it right to the vacated second base position. Oh, a perfect hit and run played by the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the inning is still alive. There's runners on the corners.
Executed perfectly. Dos Santos takes off on the pitch, and Javier, you know, it might not have been a hit and run, but he still was able to get the hands out there where he's just able to chop it through the hole on the right side. So, you know, whether it was a hit and run, whether it wasn't, it still works to perfection.
And now here comes your RBI guy in Jordan Castaldo. Runners on the corners. Oh, the Maple Leafs could use a big hit here. Pitch count up to 82 now for Edgar Garcia.
Not really any action going on in the Royals bullpen right now.
Castaldo drills this one high, deep left field, and it's gone! Jordan Castaldo, a 3-run home run, and it's a 1-run ball game at Christie Pitts.
This is what I said. You gotta keep just fighting back in this one. Yes, there was a little bit of a mistake on the base pass, but it doesn't matter. The bats come alive. Castaldo, like you said, a big rip to left field.
That was an electric swing for the Maple Leafs 3-hitter. Boy, it felt like the Maple Leafs have been waiting for a swing like that for a while. The job's not done yet. They're still down by 1, but they're right back in it, and he hit it off of Edgar Garcia as well.
Remember when I said in Castaldo's last at-bat, he fouled it straight back. It means he was on the pitch. He just missed the barrel. That time, he was on the pitch. He had Garcia timed up perfectly. It was just more so get the barrel to it, and he does that. Garcia provides all the power for the home run.
That was one of the longer opposite field home runs you're going to see. As Connect was, well, hey, he was on time for that one by your logic as well there on that first pitch from Garcia. Well, Garcia now approaching the 90 pitch mark. He threw 95. The highest he ever had was a couple games ago against the Barrie Baycats, or at least a couple starts ago. He threw 98 pitches. Connect takes low and away. That was a good take there.
And now we start seeing the bullpen start to stir a little bit. The left field Brewer, he tents in the way, so we can't really see who's on the mound, but there is a player there on the mound.
I think it's Windler getting loose in the bullpen. As Connect fouls that one off the end of the bat. One and 2 on Marcus Connect. And he hits a ball pretty well. This one is deep to right, and it's off the top of the wall. Marcus Connect into second base, and he's got a double. He just missed a home run, but you can see Marcus Connect like that swing.
And how good is that to feel for Marcus? You know, it's been so long since he's been able to wear the Maple Leafs jersey and play on the field. And right there, you get a massive hit to right field.
You know, Marcus Connect is another one of those guys that hasn't been in the lineup for a while for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but boy, he's stayed mentally engaged. He's always doing, you know, baseball activities, and the biggest thing, I think he's just been such a great teammate as well. He shows up every single game, comes and supports his team, even though he's not in the lineup. And, you know, that goes a long way, not just for the player, but, you know, for his teammates around him as well.
Yeah, and, you know, this group, it is a very tight-knit group, and we've heard that from really anybody we talk to. Dennis DeBanning has said it. Ryan Dos Santos has said it. All the Maras have said it, that this group, they want to win, and they're a family in that dugout and in that locker room. And, you know, this game right here, the never-give-up attitude that we saw so much last year, well, we're seeing it here today, and that's a really good sign moving forward.
Yeah, and the sentiment is that, you know, this has not been an easy time to keep the locker room together. But the Toronto Maple Leafs, from what I'm hearing, have. You know, there's still a really tight-knit group in there. And they want to win, and they want to win together. They've still got to scratch across another run here against Guelph as the pitch is way inside. It's Justin Mara who's trying to keep this life going. Jordan Castaldo hit the 3-run home run. That made it 6-5. And then Marcus Connect missed a home run by about 5 feet off the top of the wall.
And now you can see with Garcia, he's getting a little bit tired. He's leaving some pitches high and arm side up. And that kind of means, you know, the Leafs, they're getting to him. They understand how hard he's throwing.
The 2-0. Low.
3-0 here. You need 1 run. Would you give him the green light?
Absolutely.
Guys also 2 for 2 on the day.
Justin Mara has 2 sharp base hits against Garcia. Don't think he had the green light.
It's a good thing we're not coaches.
It was a pretty good pitch from Garcia, too. It looked like it was located well at the bottom of the zone. 3-1 now. Where do you go from here? Not the one Mara wanted, so he takes it. My count's now full.
Yeah, so Mara probably was a little bit higher than he thought it was, and then it comes in at the top of the zone. So now you just go into the mode of protect, and he's done a really good job of that.
A 3-2 pitch from Garcia. Justin Mara hits this one in the air towards left field. This one's going to be caught out in left, and that will end the inning. But a successful one for the Toronto Maple Leafs at that. It's Jordan Castaldo who comes through with a 3-run home run, make that 504 career RBIs for Jordan Castaldo, and we've got a 1-run ball game at the pits. Franklin Torres leading things off for the Guelph Royals, and what has all of a sudden become quite a tight ball game here at Christie Pitts. Josh Barenbaum back on the mound. He was on the bench for a while. This will be his 2nd inning of work. Well, the Maple Leafs cashed in some runs, 4 of them in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, this has just turned into a ball game now, partner, and you know, you're getting a pretty good performance out of your pitching staff here after really the rocky start. Barenbaum, he's been sitting for a while, so would not be surprised to see a couple of these pitches go a little bit wild, just try to get reacclimated back into the game. It was a long bottom half of the 5th there for the Maple Leafs.
2-1 upstairs, 3-1. as Torres takes just inside. So a leadoff walk for Franklin Torres, the leadoff hitter for the Royals. And here comes Brando LaRue.
Shortstop number 5, Brando LaRue.
Six-5 Royals here in the 6th. Still a lot of runway stretched out in front of this game. Runner goes, throw down, not in time. It's a stolen base for Franklin Torres. He got a heck of a jump off of Berenbaum.
Yeah, he read Berenbaum extremely well. And the throw, granted, it was a good one. It tailed towards the runner's side of the bag, but it was just, when Torres gets a jump like that, it's going to be hard to catch him.
I mean, he was going for like a second, and then Josh Berenbaum threw the pitch. Not that much, but that's what it felt like. The 0-1. Inside to LaRue. Berenbaum's 1-1. LaRue's going to bunt. Takes a ball. Three RBIs on the game for Brando LaRue, which includes a 2-run home run. 2-1 pitch fouled off. Had a big cut at that pitch up in the zone.
So if you're Berenbaum here, you either look to get something where he can't get his hands extended and jam him, or you get him trying to reach at something far away.
The run at second base is a big one. I think Edgar Garcia might be done, so that's probably a good sign for the Maple Leafs. But this bullpen for the Guelph Royals is rested. They've got some guys down there. This one's hit on the ground, and it takes a tough hop there on Spencer Ross, and that's going to get into the outfield. That was a tough one on Ross. He had a couple things to deal with. One that took a brutal hop off of the edge of the grass, and the other one was the runner was coming in front of the baseball, and the umpires are going to talk about that last thing I just said. That may have affected Spencer Ross's ability to field that ball.
Not even that. It might have hit the runner when it hopped up.
Oh, okay. So that would make that would explain why that hop was so funny on Spencer Ross. It looked weird as it, hit the grass right in front of the runner.
It might have hit his hand. He stuck out that mitt. You can kind of see it on the left hand. We're looking at it in slow motion on replay here in the booth. But when it goes up, he sticks out that left hand. And, it might have missed it, it might have not. It's hard to tell from the camera angles, obviously. But, if it did hit him, it's because he stuck out his left hand coming back. That would be the reasoning why. They're going to say it didn't hit him.
So it'll be runners on the corners here for the Royals.
But when he went back, it's the hand with the oven mitt on it. He went back, he brushed his hand in an upward motion. And that's what was kind of seen as, did he possibly hit it? Now in the case, they're going to say he didn't.
So here's another look at it right here.
And you see what I mean, though. He has that oven mitt on the hand going upwards.
Garrett Takamatsu in a big spot trying to respond to the Toronto Maple Leafs' good inning in the 5th.
How about that? Tak is armed up, ready to swing at the first pitch. And what does Berenbaum do? He pulls the string and throws him a slider.
Had to locate that one against Takamatsu as well. Garrett Takamatsu does hit fastballs really well. The 0-1. Takamatsu fouls it off, and the count's 0-2.
I feel like Takamatsu really hits anything well.
He does, but he's a dead red fastball hitter. I was talking to Takamatsu before the game, and he was quite proud of himself because he faced Dustin Richardson in the All-Star game and got a first pitch slider.
That doesn't happen very often.
And now he lines this one into the outfield, down for a base hit. The Royals are going to score a run. They've regained a 2-run lead at least. And they're still threatening here as it's 75.
Obviously, the inning not starting the way that the Leafs and Berenbaum were hoping, but now here you just got to go and try to get out number one. You can get play can go anywhere here. Forces at all 3 bags.
Yeah, Berenbaum looked like he was really trying to bear down for a strikeout there on Garrett Takamatsu, and he made a great pitch, but, you know, Takamatsu's a great hitter. He just took that outside pitch the other way. Wilson fouls it straight back.
Fouled it straight back, and it squarely hit the pole. Made a really good pong sound.
Yeah, Liam Wilson also has a home run in this game.
Probably has the biggest home run of the game.
Yeah, it was way out of here, out to left. Part of that 3 home run hitting where LaRue, Wilson, and Ward all homered. The 0-1. Matthew Ward, who's up next, I think he just has 2 home runs on the season, and if I'm not mistaken, both of them were here at Christie Pitts.
Well, I guess it's safe to say he likes hitting here.
There's another ball taken the other way. That's into the outfield. Throw to the plate. Safe. The throw was in time, but the tag from Justin Mara must have missed on the way by. And it's 8-5 Royals.
Javier got that ball in quickly, and like you said, that tag apparently just missing.
Yeah, there was no argument from Justin Mara there. The throw looked like it beat him, but I don't think the tag was ever applied.
We saw earlier in the game it was the Royals taking the lead via just the power swings. Everybody was pulling everything. It was hard contact.
This one gets away from Mara. He throws down to second, and that one's just late. 2 in scoring position now for the Royals.
This time around, though, the Royals scoring, it's just been, you know, cutting your swing down and 2 opposite field singles. And that's how they've cashed in 2 runs here.
Well, the way these next couple batters go may either give the Toronto Maple Leafs some life to try and, you know, come back from the deficit, or it also could put this game a little bit out of reach for Toronto. Not to say that they, you know, haven't been down 5 runs once before in this game and came back to make it close, but so that was a kind of funny thing right there. So the home plate umpire, I think, noticed that the umpiring crew, the first and second base umpires, didn't switch positions and were in the wrong position. So he went out and cleared home plate to give them time to get in their
figure
spots.
It out.
That was crafty right there. Matthew Ward, who homered in his last at-bat, and a 1-1 count here with Berenbaum. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-2. Berenbaum needs a strikeout here, but he doesn't just need one. He could use a couple. Strikeout, pop-up, gotta keep that runner at third base.
You just need a big out number 1 right here.
Yeah. He's going for the strikeout, missed outside. Ward did not chase. This one's chopped back up the middle. Takamatsu is now going to come to the plate late when he saw that throw go to first base. He came out of the glove of Jordan Castaldo, but it was on the transfer when he thought about throwing home. So Takamatsu with a bit of a crafty play there to score another run, and it's 9-5.
Yeah, the runner Wilson also advances on play to third here.
Well, Takamatsu probably should have been going on contact there. Like, that ball was right up the middle. And then as soon as he saw Mara about to release the throw, he just came home and scored easily.
Yeah, Mara took a glance at him, and it looked like, you know, he was just going to stay at third, and then he starts taking off as soon as Mara releases it. And, you know, not a bad play from Takamatsu.
You know, one pitch to Gallo misses low. A couple other games happening in the Intercounty Baseball League right now. It's the Welland Jackfisher up 4-2 on the Brantford Red Sox. Kitchener leading London 4-2 as well. This one on the ground to Castaldo at first, bobbles it, now looks the runner back. Oh, that's a veteran move over there at first base. Just stared back the runner, Liam Wilson, and got it out and saves a run.
Yeah, big play, and Castaldo understands how to field that. But also, partner, I want to correct you. They're not up on the London Majors right now.
Oh, go ahead.
They're up on the Cobra Chickens.
Yeah.
Can't believe you'd forget that.
I just didn't really care, to be honest.
It's the Cobra Chickens. Come on, Mr. West.
The one other game, the Barrie Baycats are leading Hamilton 5-0. They'll be happy their last two games. They lost to these two teams that we're watching right now. A 13-1 win for Guelph in their last game against Barrie, and for the Leafs they won 2-1. It was a nail biter in extra innings in a game that it finished late. That game finished at midnight in Barrie. The 1-1 just inside.
Late night drives. Getting home from that one. It was rain delayed for about 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
resumed play.
Started at like 8:30 or something.
And then of course, you know, that game goes to extras.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah.
At least it was a low scoring game.
Oh, can you imagine like a 8-7 game going extra innings starting at 8:30?
Strike three called. Josh Barenbaum paints one over the outer half, and that ends the 6th inning, but the Guelph Royals go up by 4. It's 9-5. So this is what's on the mind of a couple Toronto Maple Leafs players right now. Qualification for the playoffs. There's 12 games remaining. If you're a batter, you need 24 plate appearances. If you're a pitcher, you need 10 innings and 5 games. So some notable Toronto Maple Leafs right now that still need to get some innings. Mike Cicchetto has 18 plate appearances right now. Luca Boscarino. He's been an everyday player, so he's probably going to get there. But Marek Deska, like, there are some big players that need the innings. And one of the things I think it might just be worth bringing up right now is that, you know, Adam Mara was one of those guys that didn't pitch for a while at the beginning of the season. Got a couple innings last night, but unfortunately for him, it got credited to Adam Jeffine on the score sheet.
I think they updated it. I think they fixed it.
Did they?
I believe they fixed it because there was a little bit of uproar earlier on in the game. But I think they updated, they fixed it, they gave Mara his innings. We'll have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure they gave Mara the innings for last night.
Okay, that's good. Because, you know, I talked to Adam before the game. He was like, you know, I don't care. He was like, I'm the first guy to say, like, I don't care about stats, ERA, earned runs or anything. He's like, you know, I got to get 3 more. If this doesn't count, I got to get 5 more innings in the rest of the year. He's like, I got to get some outs. He's a one-inning kind of guy as this one's hit right back up the middle by Boscarino. Long throw to first, not in time. Liam Wilson tried to apply the slap tag on the way by. Boscarino aboard.
Yeah, and, you know, I'd say that was a single there. He just beats out that ground ball up the middle, and it's a tough throw.
Yeah, Franklin Torres made a pretty good play. The throw is pretty good, too. It just pulled Wilson a little bit off the bag, so he couldn't keep his foot on it. Yeah, just an update. If anyone knows how to get those innings fixed for Adam Mara, it hasn't been updated on the IBL website yet. He needs a couple innings, Zach. Got to get him those innings.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I think that's one that's probably going to get fixed. Well, Spencer Ross has found himself in this position before. Down to the count 0-2. What did he do last time he was at the plate? Worked Edgar Garcia for an 11-pitch at-bat from being down 0-2.
Yeah, and really it was his at-bat that started the rally for the Maple Leafs.
This time Spencer Ross lifts this one into the outfield, and that's out number 1. Niall Windler is the new pitcher into the game that these first 2 Maple Leafs batters have faced. This will just be his 4th appearance of the year. As Dan Mara takes a strike, speaking of another guy who is looking to get those innings to qualify for the playoffs. This will be his 4th game, and then it's just about getting to the 10-inning mark after that for Windler. Hasn't given up a run yet in the 3 2/3 innings he's pitched this year. That one's on the inside corner for a strike to Dan Mara. Now Windler last pitched against the Barrie Bay Cats in the team's last game in that 14-1 win on Tuesday. 2-2 the count now on Dan Mara.
Good takes here by Mara, working to count full.
A 3-2. Fouled off.
Not a bad cut. Looked like a defensive one, though. Pitch kind of jammed him inside.
Snap throw back to first. It doesn't matter, though, because Dan Mara has just drawn the walk. Ben Sidorenios comes up here with 2 on base in the bottom of the 6th, and Windler trying to hold the Maple Leafs right where they are. Toronto brought it to a 1-run game after the 5th inning. Jordan Castaldo had a 3-run home run, but then Guelph answered in the 6th. So they put up 3 runs in the inning. 3 home runs in the game for Guelph. 2-run shot and a couple solo shots.
Yeah, and those all came in the same inning. It was all back in that big third inning where they hit 3 home runs.
0-1 on Sidorenios. And Sidorenios came to the Toronto Maple Leafs at the beginning of the season. They weren't really sure if they were going to use him as a pitcher out of the bullpen, which they have this season, or as a batter. The 1-1, Sidorenios takes a strike, but it looks like they've settled on Ben Sidorenios being an outfielder on the Maple Leafs this year. Still just had the one pitching appearance that was in Brantford. Sidorenios taps it foul right back to the screen. And Sidorenios spent 4 years at Salem University playing Division II baseball. Also came out of the Toronto Mets program nearby. The 1-2. Sidorenios swings and misses at a slow breaking ball from Windler, and that's the second out.
It just looked like a pitch that was probably a changeup where it's tailing away from Sidorenios and he chases it outside.
Third baseman number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
Well, now the Maple Leafs will ask Ryan Dos Santos to try and get a big hit for them. Lefty-lefty against Windler. 2 on base. Takes the first pitch inside for a ball. And when you're down by 4 runs, running out of outs here in the ball game, gotta take advantage of these situations where you got runners on base, even though just one of them is in the scoring position. The 0-1. Santos takes a strike.
And this is the thing, the Guelph might be up 9-5, but with a hitter like Dos Santos at the plate, he puts the pressure on Windler to make good pitches because, again, he knows his zone better than anybody else. He's a very selective hitter.
Dos Santos rips it foul.
John Javier almost caught that on the helmet.
Yeah. Super late on the cut and just smacked it right off his own dugout. Well, this approach will work. You can see Dos Santos was really just letting the ball get deep on him. A single the other way works. If you want to let that ball carry, that breaking ball from Windler is definitely something you have to pay attention to. Well, there it is right there. And he got him. Strike 3 called. That's going to end the 6th inning. The Toronto Maple Leafs trailing by 4 as we head to the 7th. Guelph Royals are going to send a pinch hitter to the plate here. Ethan Hammond steps into the box for Guelph. And he takes the first pitch from Berenbaum, foul off to the left. The 0-1 pitch. Hammond takes a strike on the outer half, and the count's 0-2. And he swings and misses, strike 3. The ball, oh no, he foul tipped that ball. No, he didn't. Justin Maher puts the tag. It's a punch out for Josh Berenbaum.
A little bit of everything happened in that at-bat there.
Yeah. Definitely wanted to try and sell it like he did by not running down to first base, but it is a strikeout for Berenbaum, and here's Ashton Patterson, the left fielder. Well, the final line for Edgar Garcia tonight, 5 runs, 5 earned runs over 5 innings against the Maple Leafs, something that he hasn't even come close to doing all season. But fortunately for the Guelph Royals, they've timed it up well tonight because they've scored 9 runs of their own. Patterson pops this one up. This one's in foul territory and out of play behind home plate. So the count's 1-2 on Ashton Patterson. And he pops this one up. This is in play. Dan Mara camped under it, makes the catch, 2 away, and Josh Berenbaum starting to get in a bit of a rhythm here in the 7th.
You get 2 quick outs here, but this is the real challenge. The top of the order again, and they have dominated all game long. So it's how are you going to respond to them? Franklin Torres has been torching these pitchers all day. He's 2 for 2, but he's reached base 4 times.
I think he's got a stolen base mixed in there as well. Got some speed, even if he does make contact with the ball. Oh, he makes contact with this one, lifts it high in the air. John Javier on the run, can't get there. This one bounces up against the wall. Ben Sidorenios, a long throw in. Oh, right on the money, but just a bit late, and that's another double for Torres. 3 for 3 with 2 extra base hits.
3 hits, and he's totaled 5 bags. He has just been lights out from the leadoff spot.
He is slugging today. Now Brando LaRue, who's driven him in before in this game. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Now he hits it on a 1-hop to Ross. He knocks it down. He throws to first. What a play by Spencer Ross at short. That's going to end the 7th inning. To the bottom half we go here in Toronto. Here's what's on the docket for the Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow against the Welland Jackfish in Welland. Then they've got the Barrie Baycats and then the London Majors. About as tough as it gets, eh, Zach?
Yeah, it does not get easier. Those are two powerhouse teams.
Well, all three, really. The top three in the IBL standings right now. The 0-1. Javier chops it on the ground to third. Gallo, a reaching stop, flipped to first, picked at first by Liam Wilson.
That's a great pick.
That was quite an aesthetic play there from the Guelph Royals, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked beautiful, really, all the way through.
First baseman number 5.
Tough one for John Javier. He was probably thinking that could be an infield base hit out of the box. Action in the Leafs bullpen, Nathan Curra getting warmed up. Well, Jordan Castaldo had the biggest swing of the game on the side of the Maple Leafs last time up. A 3-run home run. Made it 6-5 at the time. I think it's safe to say that bat of Jordan Castaldo is no longer cold anymore. A couple 2-hit games coming into tonight, the 3-run home run here in this one.
Yeah, he's quite heated up, if you want to put it that way. He's
Sure.
looking really good.
Windler would also love to get through another scoreless inning of work as Castaldo, I got that one right in on his hands and he fouled it off. The 1-2. Castaldo fouls it back.
Good at bat here by Jordan. Just continuing to fight. And again, all they need right now, obviously, yes, it is later in the ball game. You just got to get a couple base runners here. One swing isn't going to help, isn't going to tie it. You just got to manufacture some runners.
The 1-2 is popped up. Brando LaRue going back at shortstop, and instead it's Andy Leader in center field who comes in and makes the catch. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and here comes Marcus Connect. Well, Marcus Connect looked for a moment like he followed up Jordan Castaldo's big home run with back-to-back shots going the other way, but unfortunately the wall that was put in a couple years ago now, the tall wall out in right field, took one away from Marcus Connect.
Well, if you think about it, you know, we're probably about 5 feet away from possibly a different outcome here where we're at in this game. You know, a tie ball game really can change things rather than, you know, Guelph still leading, them looking to add on to their lead again. Connect put a great swing on the ball. He just missed.
Justin Mara on deck. Hopefully he gets an at-bat. 0-2 to Marcus. Way outside. One and 2. Connect fouls it off. See, these are some better looking swings from Marcus Connect. Obviously, you know, that swing is just to protect. But we saw the first swing he had of the game. We were kind of thinking, oh, is he kind of feeling the side a little bit there? He got some rotation on that one. He looked like he's feeling good.
Yeah, and it seems like every at-bat he's getting more and more comfortable. And I think that's just a really good sign for the Maple Leafs because they missed his bat mightily.
The 1-2 pitch misses high, so the count's now 2-2. You can see the expression on the face of Windler there, wanting that call. Two and two on the Leafs cleanup hitter. And connect. Could not hold up. That's strike three. Windler gets through a scoreless frame in the 7th. To the 8th we go at Christie Pitts. Here's what's up next for the Guelph Royals. Next game is tomorrow against Hamilton. Then they've got another game the very next day after that on Sunday against Kitchener. And then they've got the Hamilton Cardinals again. A little bit easier than what Toronto's dealing with in the next three, eh?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Toronto's facing, what, the two best teams in the league possibly?
The three, all three.
All three? Oh, yeah,
teams.
so it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Hamilton's really turned it around, though, in this second half of the season. Guelph's got them a couple times. Hard line drive into the outfield by Garrett Takamatsu. That's a leadoff base hit. Nathan Kura is the new pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs. Kura comes into this outing with an ERA of 4.50 on the season. He's pitched 14 innings for Toronto in 6 games. Nathan Kura made his debut back on May 30th in a game that the Leafs won against the London Majors. It was, it was kind of one of those games where they needed some pitchers. They knew Kura had good stuff, but they said, hey, get out there and see what you can do for us. Pitched 2 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. I mean, kind of won the game for the Leafs. This ball hit to left field by Liam Wilson, and catch made by Luca Boscarino out there in left.
Wilson got another good piece of it, but just a little bit underneath it.
Yeah, ever since then, Nathan Kura has been one of the trusted relievers in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. They have brought him in a lot of games that they're winning and a lot of games that have been close, and he's come through more often than not. The catcher, Matthew Ward, takes strike one. Ward drives this one in the air, deep to right, off the wall. It hit the wall and bounced right to the base of it, so that's going to allow Ward to cruise into second base. He's got a double. Like that, another extra base hit for Matthew Ward.
Yeah, they've been hitting the ball hard all night. Man, everyone has just been looking really good on the side of the Royals.
Third baseman number 23, Jordan Gallo.
Next up is Jordan Gallo, a 293 hitter on the year for Guelph. Gallo takes strike one. Nathan Kerr's got some good stuff, a lively fastball, a good breaking ball, but it's also a pretty imposing figure out there on the mound. It's like 6'4", 6'5" as this ball gets in the dirt, but Takamatsu holds his ground at third base.
And yeah, Takamatsu got to third base and he started stretching, and him and Dos Santos again, because those guys are former teammates. Dos Santos started, I guess, heckling at him because he was stretching the legs a little bit. Then he goes over there. They're smiling ear to ear, both of them.
Yeah, Garrett Takamatsu has never been much of a speedster. He's only got 3 stolen bases in his IBL career. The 1-2 pitch is a strike on the outside corner to Gallo, 2-2.
But that's 3 more than a lot of other people.
Yeah, sure.
Who aren't in the IBL.
Sure, that's one way of looking at it.
Gotta respect speed.
Gallo fouls this pitch off. It remains 2-2. But Garrett Takamatsu, you know, he's had some knee issues. Last year we were calling him the bionic man because he always had so many fixings on his, you know, knees and arm and whatnot. That pitch just missed the Gallo. So he's happy to be healthy this year. I think he's healthy this season. He's hitting like it.
I was gonna say the bat looks pretty healthy.
Ball 4. Whew. Kura made some good pitches. Just didn't quite find the zone, and the bases are loaded here in the 8th. Andy Leader coming to the plate. Leader swings and misses at the first pitch from Kura. Leader fouls another one off. Andy Leader spent some time with the Canisius Golden Griffins in the NCAA's Division I. The 0-2. Strike 3 called. Nathan Kura gets a timely strikeout of Andy Leader.
That's the second time in a row Leader has gone down looking, and just seems later in the ballgame he hasn't been able to pick up the ball out of the pitcher's hands.
Right fielder number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Bases loaded here in the top of the 8th. Kura trying to keep this game in check for the Maple Leafs. Got lots of work to do, but you can't do it if Ethan Hammond gets a hit here. And there for a strike. 4 runs over 2 innings is, you know, it's doable, unlikely but doable. As this one's popped up. Dan Mara on the infield, makes the catch, inning over. Nathan Kura works out of a jam as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Justin Mara takes inside ball 1. Nathan Windler back on the mound for the Royals. Well, that's strike 2 on Mara. The 0-2 from the lefty. Mara taps it foul.
They cut the song short.
Mara taps it foul at home plate again.
I like to call it the rally song, and they cut it short.
Okay, how's it supposed to go?
Dun, 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 dun. Because the troops are charging.
Right. This one's on the ground to short. Ooh, tricky hop there for LaRue, but he still makes the play. That's the first out of the inning. Nail Windler has come into this game and really settled things down for the Guelph Royals. He's trying to get through a third scoreless inning here. You know, when the Maple Leafs got Edgar Garcia out of the game, it felt like, okay, here we go. This is where you can kind of start to open the floodgates, but Windler has really shut down that notion. Luca Boscarino, the Leafs left fielder. Takes low. Counts 1-1 now. Another pitch misses low to Boscarino. Leafs definitely need some base runners. Trailing by 4 here in the 8th. This one's right back up the middle, and Luca Boscarino has got himself a second base hit tonight.
Just takes it right back up the middle. That's a good piece of hitting right there by Luca Boscarinos.
Spencer Ross, who's, you know, maybe worked as many pitches as anybody tonight. He's gone deep into counts a couple times, an 11 pitch at bat against Garcia. Trying to keep the line going for the Leafs. One out here in the 8th. Ross takes strike 1. And now lines it back towards the middle, and that one gets into the outfield as well. Spencer Ross has a base hit. First and second now in the 8th for the Leafs.
Again, we saw this a couple innings ago. Why not? Why not again?
Well, now it's Dan Mara coming to the plate. He found a gap in his last at-bat for a double. Mara, Sidorenios, Dos Santos. That's what's coming up here for the Leafs. Mara takes a strike. And another, and the count's 0-2. Two well-located pitches from Windler. And this one's lined into the outfield, and that one's going to get down once again for Mara. They're going to send Boscarino home. The ball got all the way to the wall. Here comes a second run to the plate, and it's not in time. The Leafs scored 2. And it's 9-7 here in the 8th.
Again, it's the never say die attitude I was talking about that the Maple Leafs have been looking for this year, and they're finally getting it right now. Another great hit by Dan Mara. That got past the center fielder, allowing 2 to cash. We got ourselves a ball game again.
That was a big break for the Maple Leafs. You know, when that ball got down into the outfield, it looked like it was going to score 1 run, but definitely not 2. The Leafs will take that add-on run. Windler still in the game here, facing the righty in Sidorenios. On deck, another lefty in Dos Santos. The 0-1. Low.
Again, it's Luca Boscarino and Spencer Ross that start things. They did it earlier in the ball game. They do it here again. It's just been big moments for these 2 players tonight.
Yeah, 2 good swings. They just took the ball right back up the middle, both of them. And then Dan Mara. Danny doubles. He's got a couple of them today. Sidorenios late on that pitch and rips it foul off to the right. Maple Leafs with some life here in the 8th. How big would 1 more be coming into the 9th? 1-2 the count now in Sidorenios.
Try to keep the momentum up here.
That's strike 3 called. 2 away in the inning, and here comes Dos Santos.
Third baseman, number 8, Ryan
Maple Leafs looking for a big hit out of the third baseman, Ryan Dos Santos. Mara, the runner at second base, has some decent wheels out there. If Dos Santos hits a single, I'll bet you Rob Butler will be sending him home. The 0-1 pitch. Oh, it was located perfectly, and the count's 0-2.
Yeah, they went inside with the breaking ball first pitch. It kind of tied them up, and then they go outside with the fastball, and it's just the reverse cross-up.
Ryan Dos Santos is going to need a battle here. 0-2. Lefty-lefty against Windler, and he just missed outside.
Not a bad pitch. You go a little bit wider on the lefty-lefty matchup, so, you know, the batter, Dos Santos, he thinks now, you know, maybe the outside half is a little bit longer.
So the count's 1-2. And Dos Santos fouls that one off. Windler is locating in this at bat.
It's a good job staying alive there. It's a tough pitch. And he's able to stay with it, foul it back, and keep yourself alive for another one.
Dos Santos takes up and in, and the count's 2-2. I mean, if Ryan Dos Santos gets on base or drives in a run here, I mean, Maple Leafs have some danger on deck, and John Javier.
And don't forget in the hole, the guy that had the biggest blast for the Maple Leafs.
A 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Windler gets a strikeout in a key moment, but the Maple Leafs do get 2 and make things a little bit more manageable here as we head to the 9th. Nathan Curra back on the mound for the Maple Leafs, needing a shutdown inning, and a quick one would be good too, eh, Zach? See if they can kind of keep that momentum riding into the bottom of the ninth, the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, you got something quick here, and you still have a chance to come back and win this ball game. You're only trailing by 2, and the heart of the order is coming up. This is a big moment here for Curra.
The 0-1. Patterson thinking about bunting. The pitch was in the dirt. So that's a ball.
Thing is here for Curra, though, is you have to attack this leadoff batter. You cannot have people on base when Franklin Torres comes up to bat. He has just absolutely torched the Maple Leafs tonight.
1-1 on Patterson. Curra delivers up and in. Now 3-1.
Patterson did walk earlier in the ball game, back in the 4th.
Now he's walked in the 9th to lead things off.
And this is probably worst case scenario because, again, Torres has just been on a rampage today. He's hit the ball all over the ballpark.
A couple extra base hits mixed in there as well, eh?
He has 2 doubles, a single. He's walked twice. He's scored 3 times.
Oh, pitching change coming here. Ayami Sato is coming into the game for the Maple Leafs. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Back here at Dominico Field as Ayami Sato comes into the game for the Maple Leafs. She'll face the top of the order and Franklin Torres and then Brando LaRue. First pitch, broken bat flare towards the outfield, and Sidorenios comes in and makes the catch, and now throwback to first. Not in time. Close play at first base, but definitely safe, and that's the first out.
Got it right off the end of the bat, and I don't think that Torres was expecting that slow on the breaking ball. He was out in front, tipped it right off the end of the bat, broke it.
Well, it was a good start for Sato as she breaks the bat of Torres, and now here's LaRue. Runner goes. No throw down to second base. Ashton Patterson got a good jump. Garrett Takamatsu is next. The double play no longer in order. LaRue trying to cash in an insurance run. The 1-0 from Sato. LaRue takes a strike. Well, it does feel like there's a little bit of momentum here at Christie Pitts. Toronto Maple Leafs have brought it within 2 here in the 9th, but the Royals trying to tack on, and they may have just done that. Brando LaRue rips it into the outfield, throw to the plate, and they're going to hold the runner at third base. So runners on the corners here with 1 out in the 9th. Good piece of hitting there by LaRue. So here comes Garrett Takamatsu. Definitely a double play candidate, Garrett Takamatsu. Sato's got to find a way to get him to hit the ground ball.
And that's going to be tough. Takamatsu, a guy that is really, really good at just elevating baseballs. This is going to be an interesting matchup here.
Here's the first pitch. Tak takes a strike. Well, Justin Marr and Ayami Sato have got to find a way to keep that runner at first base, because the double play being in order is a big asset right now for the Maple Leafs. The 0-1. Takamatsu slashes it foul. That one off to the right. Well, Garrett Takamatsu certainly was not out in front of that pitch from Ayami Sato. He did a good job waiting back and just trying to drive it up the middle. He was just a bit late. The 0-2. Runner goes. Takamatsu hits it on the ground past the diving Spencer Ross. Our runner's going to come to third as well, and it is a 3-run ball game once again for Guelph. Oh, Garrett Takamatsu hit a ball on the ground, but he also hit it pretty sharply. And with the runner going, there was not going to be a chance for the double play. It's an RBI single for Takamatsu, and here comes Liam Wilson. Wilson slashes one into the outfield for another base hit. It's now 11-7 as Wilson tacks on another RBI single. Boy, a couple disciplined swings from the 3-4 hitters in the Guelph Royal lineup. 2 sharp base hits.
Catcher number 10, Matthew Ward.
Here's the catcher, Ward. Takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Ayami Sato spins it a couple different ways. One of them's a curveball, one of them's a slider. That one looked like it was the slider to Ward. And now Ward lines it into the outfield. That's another base hit. They're loaded now for the Royals. Still 1 out in the 9th. And Rob Butler is going to come out to the mound to chat with Sato. I think that's Greg Carrington who's warming up in the pen for the Leafs.
Got the fly out of Torres, and then it's been 4 straight singles, including a 1 run coming in to score here.
Greg Carrington coming in a tight spot. It's the bases loaded here for the Royals with 1 out in the 9th. So Greg Carrington enters into the game trying to get Jordan Gallo and hold the lead at 4 for Guelph. First pitch outside, it rolls to the backstop, but Justin Marr is able to track it down and hold Takamatsu at third. Yeah, how far does that ball have to get away to score Garrett Takamatsu from third base? He just doesn't want to sprint
It's a
home.
grand question, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a ricochet off a pole or something. The 1-0. Gallo takes low. Well, Greg Carrington is one of those pitchers that's trying to get his innings in to qualify for the playoffs. Here's the 2-0 in there for a strike. So, you know, if he can get a couple outs here and, you know, try and hold the lead, would be a bonus as well. That would be good on a couple different fronts for the Maple Leafs. 2-1. On the ground towards first, and it's a foul ball. Hit pretty well by Gallo. Greg Carrington is a two-way player for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the majority of his work this season has been pitching. He's only had 4 at-bats. Here's the 2-2 to Gallo. Strike 3 called. Got him on the outside corner. 2 outs in the inning. Now Andy Leader.
Nice pitch there by Carrington. Gets him frozen. Looking at that one go by.
Leader takes strike 1. Takamatsu, Wilson, and Ward all on base. Strike 2. That was another good pitch from Greg Carrington, and Leader's in an 0-2 hole. Leader hits this ball in the air to center field. Back goes Ben Sidoranios. Now he's camped under it, and he makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Nice job by Greg Carrington. He gets a strikeout and a flyout to end the 9th inning. It's an 11-7 Guelph Royal lead. 3 outs remaining for the Leafs. Coming up. Last chance here for the Toronto Maple Leafs, trailing by 4 to Guelph. Owen Newman is into the game, trying to shut things down here for the Royals. He'll face John Javier and Jordan Castaldo to lead things off, followed by Marcus Connect. This is the toughest part of the lineup for the Maple Leafs. John Javier extended that on-base streak earlier in the game. He got himself a double, so it's 25 games now for John Javier. The 1-0. Newman spikes it in the dirt.
Javier extending his on-base streak earlier in the ball game with that double he hit.
Thanks, Zach. 1-2 the count now on Javier. Low and away, 3-1.
Patience out of 77 here. Work yourself a good at-bat, kid.
Might want to take this pitch as well. Ball 4.
I think he had an earbud in listening to you.
John Javier gets down to first base. I mean, if the Maple Leafs are going to get some runs here, walks are definitely going to be part of the equation. There's one. Jordan Castaldo can walk too, but you know, if you're Castaldo here, I'm thinking he's swinging the bat pretty well. I mean, he's got the 3-run home run. Jordan Castaldo and Marcus Connect have both absolutely obliterated baseballs today. That was against Edgar Garcia. Now 2 pitchers later, Owen Newman. Castaldo hits this one in the air. Deep center field, and it's gone! Jordan Castaldo leaves the yard for the second time tonight, and we've got ourselves another 2-run ball game.
Castaldo, I mean, we talked about how dangerous his bat is and what he's like if he starts heating up. Well, he's heating up here, partner.
Yeah, he's red hot right now. It's 2 hits in each of his last 2 games, now 2 home runs tonight. That one just made it over the wall in center field. It was a majestic high fly ball that cleared the wall. Well, that is a little jolt of life here for the Maple Leafs. Jordan Castaldo now has 8 home runs on the season, and he's up into the top 5 in the IBL.
Someone on the Maple Leafs has finally passed Marcus Connect.
Someone in the IBL has. It's his teammate. But I'm not sure Jordan Castaldo hit any of while Marcus Connect was away. Now that Marcus Connect's back in the lineup, he's hit 2 right in front of him. Isn't that crazy? Jordan Castaldo now leads the Maple Leafs in home runs. See if Marcus Connect has anything to say about it. The 0-1, that's a strike. This game is not over yet. 11-9 the score. Connect a big swing, and he cuts right through it. Owen Newman, an ERA of 4.97 in 12 2/3 coming into this outing. This will be his 8th appearance. A pitch in the dirt, and the count's 2-2.
And again, you know, obviously we mentioned at the start of the game that Connect's coming back from that injury in the back. You kind of see him; he's still stretching out. He's put together some really good swings tonight, and I think that's the biggest takeaway. But obviously, you know, the main concern is how he's going to feel waking up tomorrow after playing a game like this.
The 2-2. Fouled off. You know, Marcus he's seeing the ball well right now. Those are some big cuts, some big confident hacks here against Owen Newman. Now can Newman kind of take advantage of the fact that Marcus Connect is in swing mode here and make a good pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That was a good pitch. And Newman's got an out here in the 9th.
Pitcher number 9, Justin Mara.
Well, it's been a little while since Owen Newman has come into the game for the Guelph Royals. Last pitched on July 3rd in a game against the Barrie Bay Cats. So 22 days ago. Now it's Justin Mara with one away.
Well, these next 3 batters here, Mara, Boscarino, and Ross, they've done a lot of the damage here tonight. So, again, it's not over just yet. Maple Leafs have to put together some good at-bats here.
Mara has seen the ball well tonight. The 0-1. That's low. Boy, Newman just getting that strikeout there on Marcus Connect really changes the complexion of this inning. But the Leafs still have life. The 1-1 pitch is a strike, and the count's 1-2. Newman could turn the momentum on his head if he can get Justin Mara here. Almost, just outside.
Stone cold take right there by Justin Mara.
Counts now 2-2. That ball's foul tipped, and it caught Ward on the way back, and he's going to take a moment here.
Yeah, I think it caught him high up on the thigh. Those ones are not fun.
No, I think he's wringing out his hand now. Yeah, he's looking at the back of his hand. You see that there?
Yeah, it was the first thing they tell you when you're being a back catcher. Always tuck that hand behind you. You can take a ball off the leg, off the arm, off, the thigh. But always have your hand hidden because there's so many little bones in the hand where if it gets hit in the wrong spot, it could be a long time, a lot of pain, and a long time off.
Yeah, and the Royals need Matthew Ward. He's been their rock there behind the plate this season.
Good to see that he's okay, though.
Yeah. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Justin Mara goes down, and Newman has recorded back-to-back strikeouts after the 2-run home run by Castaldo.
Left fielder number 84, Luca Boscarino.
Boscarino steps in here. Maple Leafs down to their final out and takes ball 1.
Go, Leafs, go!
The 1-0. Check swing, and he cut through. Counts now 1-1 on Boscarino.
I don't want to go home yet.
Here's the 1-1 from Newman. Fouled off, 1-2. Newman needs one more strike to close out this ball game. Guelph leading by 2. Bottom of the 9th. In the dirt, counts now 2-2. Good take there by Boscarino. 3 hours and 30 minutes into this ball game here at Christie Pitts. The 2-2. Outside, and the count's now 3-2. Luca Boscarino refusing to bite. Spencer Ross on deck, hopeful of an at-bat here in the bottom of the 9th. Now the 3-2. On the ground to third. Gallo with a sliding stop. Throw to first in time, and that ends the ball game. Fantastic play by Gallo at third, And the Royals come away with this one in what was a battle for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They showed some resilience, but they just couldn't come away with the win. You know, you'd think you get the 5 runs against a really tough pitcher in Garcia, but it just didn't go the Leafs' way today.
Yeah, a tough one all around, and you know they battled back. They showed resilience. I think that's the thing going forward is you gotta just keep pushing. You're almost there. The Leafs just a couple shaky things towards the end of that ball game, but they showed that they had that never give up attitude. I think if they continue to show that for the rest of the season, good results will come.
Toronto Maple Leafs, they've got the Welland Jackfish next. That's tomorrow. Another game tomorrow for the Guelph Royals as well. They play Hamilton. Good night for myself, Thomas West, and Zach Benoit.